Dusty Rhodes and his family. Hard times are when the textile workers around this country are out of work. They got 4 or 5 kids and can't pay their wages, can't buy their food. Hard times.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Woo! I tore them all down, and I came here for one reason: to attack and keep coming.
I did it for The Rock.
You will rest in peace.
I asked you 1,000,000 times to join the NWO, where you would be for life.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty.
Bang, bang. And what's it gonna do when Hulkamania run wild on you?
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Yeah! Fire! I won't ride in nothing but limousines, and I won't make love to nothing but the best looking women in the world.
You don't know what hard times are, Daddy.
You will know that your ass is mine.
Bang, bang.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. You got a championship belt? I don't.
That's right, I'm a Paul Heyman guy.
When Ric Flair's in town, showtime. Woo!
Sweet. My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Orderly!
Woo! It is Rolex time.
Pull the Raven.
You just made the list!
Who's you beat, brother?
Did you dig that? Sucker!
I am the... There is no honor among thieves in the first...
Ric Flair's in town, showtime. Woo!
Sweet. My belly's just a little big, my hand is just a little big, but brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
Beat me if you can. Survive if I let you.
Orderly!
Woo! It is Rolex time.
Pull the Raven.
You just made the list!
Who's you beat, brother?
Did you dig that? Sucker!
I am the game!
The whole show.
If I can be serious for a minute.
You son of a bitch. Brock Lesnar. Damn.
Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass.
Oh, you didn't know? I mean, you're the Donald Trump of wrestling. You make Steven Spielberg look like a guy running 8mm films in a garage someplace.
Will you stop?
You don't want to recognize my belt, huh? You don't recognize my belt. I think you're a liar. I think you're a flat out, straight up, lying, crying bitch.
An old man turned 98. He won the lottery and died the next day. It's a black fly in your Chardonnay. It's a death row pardon, 2 minutes too late. And isn't it ironic? Don't you think? It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your already paid. It's the dirty vibes that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it's bigger?
Oh, yeah, some 90s man-hating women music. Awesome. What is going on, everybody? It is Dirt Sheet Dudes. It is Friday night, and we are happy you could join us. Thank you so much. I am Boxman, and across from me are my two compadres. Anthony, what is going on?
Box, chat rooms, Art, what's going on?
Not much. Smark, as he just said, what is going on?
That's right, everybody. I am, of course, the black fly in your Chardonnay. And I am jazzed because it is the only time of the year where straight, fat white men are not the villains. So this is a good time of year for yours truly. How's everyone doing tonight? Tonight?
Well, I couldn't have done that intro. I couldn't have done better on that intro myself, goddammit.
Yes.
Oh, boy, do we have a fun one for you guys tonight. We have that wonderful SmackDown that just happened. We have NXT. We've got a little bit of news. Anthony has some things that I don't even know about, which we'll let him get into with the Young Bucks. And we will just be rattling off shit. We even have some Tony Schiavone shit to play a little bit later. So
Yes.
stick around, you sons of bitches, because we ain't going fucking anywhere. Ah, that's right. All right. I did a little shot of 5 Hour Energy before the show, so I'm fucking wide awake. Hope everybody else is too. And on that note, let's knock them out, guys. You know who. Where we start. We start with the Wrestling Overdose, Wrestling OD. Do not forget to check out Shaheen. You can check him out on all Apple, everywhere. But you know what? Go ahead and check out his Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Overdose, right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Just wanted to make sure. And of course, if you really want to be even nicer to Shaheen, join his Patreon and go to nuclearheatshop.com and buy some shit. Then check out Wrestling's High Marks. Cheeseman, Mojo, and G-Wiz over there are great fucking guys. Definitely want to check them out. And of course, Bobby Anthem, Bobby Blades on the Inhuman Experience. If you sign up for that feed, Bobby Anthem will be searching for his lost soul, and you're going to get to hear it. And of course, Philly Sports Passion. If you get that, you're going to get the unscripted wrestling. You're going to get both. It's a 2-for-1. It's a great deal. But wait, there's more. Stephen Milan, the madman of movie reviews. He's on Letterboxd, boxd.com/Stephen Milan. And you guys know where to find us. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google. Leave us a review. Follow us. Tweet us. Email us. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And I believe me and Anthony will be on tomorrow night for a Hollywood hangout. I do have another company Christmas party that I was invited to, and I'm going as a vendor, so I kind of have to go. But I should be back in time for the Hollywood hangout. So there you go.
You're blowing up, Box. You're blowing up.
Please. Don't even talk to me about it. I really would rather pretend I'm dying or sick or something. Anyway.
Ringing endorsement, sir.
Anyway, Anthony, I know you got one last one for us. Go ahead and hit that, and we will get to the show.
The Bottom Line Wrestling Podcast by my homie Jason Clark, available on all of the same podcasting resources that Box just read it off. Google Play, Stitcher, Google Play, I said it already, TuneIn Radio, just hit rewind. Same fucking platforms. Check him out. Good dude. Good podcast. Normally drops on Saturday afternoons.
All right. There you go. And Antox, yes, we are. This will be the last Dirt Sheet Dudes until next Friday. So you guys are going to get 7 days of no Dirt Sheet Dudes. I know. Stop the applause. Stop the applause. But yeah, we are taking Christmas off. No reason for us to be here. No reason for you guys to be here. Spend it with family. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the day. Do not worry about wrestling. Don't even think about it. Just fucking enjoy the day. That's it. That. And so, yeah, you will see us next Friday here on the Dirt Sheet Dudes. And again, you will more than likely get the Hollywood Hangout tomorrow night. No clue what we're going to be doing, but that's what makes it fun. So, guys, wrestling, huh?
Correct. That's
Yeah.
right. We talk about it sometimes.
Yeah, wrestling happened. Wrestling did happen this week. A couple
All
shows.
right. And with that said, it's time for the plugs. We'd like to thank everyone for listening.
There we go. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, wait, we are still going to talk about it, I guess. There is something to talk about. Let's start with the good. Let's start with NXT. What do you guys say?
Yes, sir. NXT, once again, good show this week. And the ratings kind of reflected that. I mean, are we starting to see a shift in the momentum?
A little bit. We are starting to see a little bit of a shift. I see it. I mean, obviously we all see it. But again, it's just a bad time to be bitching about ratings and going into ratings. But I do love how Alvarez and Meltzer are like, but they won in 18 to 49-year-old guys who smoke cigarettes with their left hand and drink Coors Light out of cans only.
And they didn't even win that demographic this week.
Oh, shit.
Clean sweep for NXT. And I believe, and I'm sure Antox can correct me if I'm wrong on this, I believe NXT won in the key 18 to 34, 35-year-old demographic, in addition to having more viewers this week. So, yeah, like I said, obviously, nobody's declaring victory on this, but I do find it kind of hilarious and ironic, which is why I wanted that song played at the top of the show, that a lot of AEW fans are quiet this week.
Mm-hmm.
Once those numbers kind of come out, I mean, it's kind of ironic,
don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah. See what I see? Oh, forget it. Anyway, I had not watched NXT before I got home today from work, so I turned on the Hulu version, and it was only an hour. I was like, fucking sweet. So I watched the Hulu version. So that was a good thing there. Did watch the Hulu version. Only 3 matches. Only matches I saw in the Hulu version were was Adam Cole and Finn Balor, Damian Priest and Killian Dane. Let's say that 5 times fast. And Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler. That was it.
Yeah, it was only like 2 other matches. One is Mark. It was a Pete Dunne match.
Yeah, I missed
That
that.
was pretty
Pete
good.
and Travis Banks, I believe it was. And then it was Kushida versus whoever Trevor Lee is now. I forget his name. Cameron Grimes.
Cameron Grimes and Io Shirai versus Santana Garrett was another match. So there were those, but all I saw was the Adam Cole Finn Balor, which I'm liking the story that match is actually telling.
Yeah, it was fucking great, and you put it side by side with Jungle Luke Perry and Chris Jericho, and yeah, man, what a difference! And this not even me trying to take a shot. It's just it was clear as day what the better match was. Told the story, the athleticism on display. It was just, I won't say match of the year, but damn close. If it was still some time left in the year.
Yeah, definitely. I like this match. It was a really good start off to the show, and these two, they work well together. But there were a couple times in the match where their chemistry just like fell off a little bit, and it just looked a little odd. But most of the match, they were doing great. It was just 1 or 2 spots in there I noticed they just kind of fell off and didn't look like they knew what they were doing. I saw Balor botch something, and it just didn't look right. But yeah, and at the end there, and of course, that's why I'm just breezing over it. I'm not sitting there gonna shit on it for 20 fucking minutes. But Antox, yes, Johnny Gargano did come out and ended up costing Balor the match there, letting Adam Cole win that match, and fucking Johnny Wrestling ended up beating the shit out of Balor with a chair.
Yeah, and I guess like right off the bat, hell of a match. But I feel like this particular episode of NXT, it was a breeze for me. I think the actual length of the show was like, if you watch it on the network like I did, it's like 1 hour and 42, 43 minutes, something like that. It felt like there was no wasted motion. They had video package galore. It felt like everybody on the show served a purpose. There was a story behind everything.
Well,
it was just, I mean, it was a pleasure to see, and it kind of highlighted some of the things that AEW really needs to tighten up on if they're going to play this game.
Yeah, it's just 2 different shows, man. It's 2 different dynamics. They just happen to be going for the same demographic. Really it is. So, but yeah, I mean, obviously there was a lot of bullshit on the show. Otherwise, the Hulu version would have been longer. But hey, I like the 1 hour version. It looks good to me. But yeah. So Gargano is back after his injury, and man, him and every time Ciampa or him comes back, they come back looking fucking ripped as shit. So Gargano coming on back, and I guess we can go ahead and Smart. What do you got on that match? Anything?
Yeah, I thought it was of the weekly shows, not including pay-per-view and everything. I would say it's probably my favorite match of the night, probably my favorite match of the week in terms of televised wrestling. You did mention there was a couple of botches. It kind of looked like it might have just been me, but it looked like they were working faster than I've seen either of them work in recent memory. It seemed like, at least at the very beginning, they were just fucking banging through spots. Not that I'm complaining. It was a lot of fun to watch, but it seemed like they were just working super fucking quick.
Yeah.
So that was fun. Yeah, like you said, Gargano came back. It was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. It set the tone. It set the tone for the rest of the night. You had mentioned kind of that there might have been some bullshit. Really, in terms of like, there wasn't really any talking segments. There wasn't like promos, backstage interviews, anything. There were a couple of matches that were kind of inconsequential to the overall, comings and goings on a weekly basis. But it was pretty much all matches this week, so that was fun.
Oh, nice, man. Well, like I said, I mean, what the matches I saw were really good. So I guess we'll get into the next match that I did see, which was the Damian Priest defeating Killian Dane. Both these guys I like, man. Both of these guys are good. Killian Dane is just a big, hairy son-of-a-bitch. And Damian Priest, I like the character. I like him. His hairline doesn't like him very much, but that's neither here nor there. But I do like the character. I like this guy. I wish I knew more about him from the indies as Punishment Martinez, right?
Yes, sir.
That's right.
I did hear Beth Phoenix at the end say, did you see the punishment he just gave him? So she did throw the name Punishment out there once just to, I don't know if she meant it or not, but I did hear it. And I don't know. I like this match. I like these guys. And Killian Dane is just a fucking bruiser of a fucking guy, man. So there you go, guys.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, hell of a match. The evolution of the husky / big man / fat guy on WWE television is astonishing to watch. We've come a long way from the days of King Kong Bundy and Uncle Almer, have we not? We got fat dudes doing planches and moonsaults, and quebradas and all kinds of crazy shit.
Big guys got to work like little guys if they want to get noticed, man.
I'm waiting for that old Otis shooting star press one day.
I mean, Tucker can already get up there and do a fucking moonsault, so 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I don't want to see Otis do that. I think the ropes would break. But we will get into Otis. Trust me, Otis, and the lucky man he is. But yeah. Back to that Killian Dane match. But yeah, man, like I said, he's just a big bruiser, man, a big beast, and I do like the character. But Smart, what you got?
Well, that was the second segment of the show. So far, watching the Hulu version, you literally haven't missed anything. You mentioned him being Punishment Martinez in Ring of Honor. I brought it up in the past. I wasn't really a big fan of his at that point.
Right. I
thought he was a little bit generic. I mean, he's not super in depth in terms of character now, but he's better than he was, I think. I was kind of indifferent on Killian Dane too when he was in SmackDown. So I like both of these guys really work well in this environment, I think, because I've really come along a lot when it comes to Killian Dane. He's won me over quite a bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was a really good match. They touched on the fact that Priest was out with the injury, and I guess it was because of that number 1 contendership match or whatever. So that was interesting. And then I guess Priest ended up getting the win. So there you go. He's looking strong. They're getting him right back on the right track. So that's fun. It was a good match, though. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Now, you guys got anything on the Cameron Grimes defeating Kushida match, or should we just keep moving on?
It was a solid match, in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah, it was a solid match. I was kind of surprised because I honestly just expected them to sign him so that he wouldn't be making money elsewhere or benefiting other companies. So the fact that they actually let him get a win this time, Like, it seems like they kind of want to make him into like somewhat of a badass, but they're not sure if they want to, go ahead and light the fuse to that rocket. So I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Yeah. Now, Smart, would you co-sign that? Because on commentary, and I'm not complaining about it, I actually appreciated it. They put over Grimes getting like this big time win over an international superstar. Do you think they're actually going to do something with that win? Or is it going to be wasted 6 months down the line?
Maybe. I mean, they seem like they care a little bit more about consistency and actually building people. And especially if they're going to have him on TV almost every week, which it seems like they have been doing, it seems like it would benefit them to make him look like at least a legitimate competitor to some degree. It's like I think it was on like the first episode of NXT, he came out and he squashed the Kona Reeves or whoever his name is. So, yeah, hopefully that they end up actually giving him a bit of a push moving forward. I'm not exactly sure what it is that he could do. I don't think he's necessarily like, I don't know if I like the idea of him being like the cruiserweight champion, but he doesn't really seem like he's quite ready to be like world champion yet. So we'll see what they have planned for him, but it's going to be interesting moving forward, I think.
Isn't international superstar just a nice way of saying foreigner?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. All right.
I could have said Mari with Y, but I didn't want to, start the show off on a bad note.
Okay. All right. I'll just give me time. I'll make sure it starts off somewhere. Somewhere it's gonna go bad, and I'll make sure it's me. But
in my opinion, Kushida could do no wrong with the Michael J. Fox tribute life jacket. I'm sorry. He can never do any wrong in my eyes.
I do like the gimmick, the whole Back to the Future thing. I really do. I think it's kind of cool just to see someone just kind of cosplaying that coming out to the ring. I don't know. And I'm not the biggest cosplay fan, but I think that's kind of a cool gimmick to come out to. So there you go. Just my 2 cents on that match I did not see. Speaking of matches I did not see, Io Shirai defeated Santana Garrett. I'm sure you guys I have tons to say about this match.
Io Shirai is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, physically. She was just looking good in this match. Other than that, I don't really have too much to add in terms of color. The match was okay. It was decent. It was a great video package before it that preceded it.
All right.
They put her the video. I feel like the combination of the video package and the match really put her over strong, because it was a step above a squash, but it was mainly a squash in my opinion. Smart, what you got on it?
Yeah. The most memorable part actually happened before the match, because Shirai came out. One of the fans ended up yelling, "Go back to China" at her, to which she put her face out. She started to exit the ring and she yelled, "Japanese, bitch." And she kept going. So
awesome.
She reminded him that she is in fact not Chinese. If anyone was curious, she is Japanese, bitch. So, there we go. Like Anthony said, kind of a squash, but it was all right, I guess. Nothing really bad happened.
All right. And another match I did not care to see, glad they didn't show it, was Pete Dunne defeating Travis Banks. Yeah, you guys know my feelings on this. Keep going. What do you guys got?
A lot of variety in this match, Box. I would actually recommend you watch it. Not a lot of finger play in this one from old Pete Dunne. He actually showed off a lot more athleticism, a lot more creativity with some of the spots. Like I said, it's not a match that I'll necessarily remember 3 months from now, but in the moment, I enjoyed it.
I do just want you to know, anytime you use the words finger play, I'm not gonna. That's not gonna make me want to watch the match. I just want you to realize that. I just want to point that out.
Ricochet.
Shout out to Ricochet and finger play. There you go, a little rhyming for you guys there. Ricochet doing finger play. Oh boy! All right, so yeah. There we go. I'm sorry. I'm just reading a little message here on my phone. All right. I guess that's all we got on those matches. I guess we get to the main event.
Yes, sir.
Rhea Ripley, Shayna Baszler. My girl Rhea coming out strong in this one. Strong as fuck, defeating Shayna Baszler to become the new NXT Women's Champion. Hell of a match, man. Dude, this is where the real women's revolution is right now. It's in NXT, and these girls are putting on fucking, in my opinion, 5-star matches, dude. And these two are so believable together in the ring. I love what they're doing. So there you go.
Now, Box, I'm glad you said that, and I want to get Mark's thoughts on this too. Banger of a match, right? And this was the main event. Now, what do you think it is? Do you think it's pressure? Do you think it's nerves? Do you think it's the way the matches are laid out? Because we've seen the women main event in WWE 3 times on major pay-per-views. WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and I feel like it's another one I'm not thinking of right now. And they were TLC, thank you. They were average at best. And now you get this same match, and it's like it's in the main event and it's over. It's a good match, tells a good story. But whenever it's put on the main stage, it seems to, now I don't want to say shit the bed, but underwhelm and underdeliver. What do you think the difference is in that regard, in terms of the match? Forget the storylines and that aspect of it, but in terms of the actual bell-to-bell action, why can't that action from NXT translate to a WrestleMania main event?
Man, that's a great question. Because this is 2 girls that haven't been in a WrestleMania main event yet. I don't know. Smart. What do you got?
Well, I mean, I was one of the first people to say that I thought that the Survivor Series main event was underwhelming. I really didn't have too much of a problem with the WrestleMania one. I mean, yeah, was it the best match in the world? No, but was it better than fucking Roman Reigns? However his name's actually pronounced, Roman Reigns. Okay, followed syllables, words are hard today. Roman Reigns winning a match. I almost did it again. Winning at the end of WrestleMania and sending everybody home like the last couple of years. God damn it, I'm not drunk. That's a bad thing. Anyways.
Go get a drink or something, dude.
That's the problem. Somebody pumps some vodka into the veins stat. Now, I thought the TLC match was actually really good, and especially even before knowing what we know now, but especially, like, yeah, there was some spots in hindsight that were like, probably shouldn't have done that, knowing what we know now, but I actually thought the TLC main event was really good. Not to take anything away from this match, though. I thought this match was great too. You know, obviously I think the right person won. The crowd was fucking super hot.
Mm-hmm.
Commentary, Morrow did a good job in commentary, putting it over as a big event, which it was. I'm kind of critical of him sometimes, so I want to give him credit where credit's due.
Well,
but yeah, it was a fun match. I don't know why. I think with the main roster or the Raw SmackDown, they don't let anything grow organically. As soon as something catches fire, it's just like, all right, let's put this on like 3 or 4 times a week, all the time, every week. Where it's just like it dies that way. You got to let it build slow.
Yeah, you can't. You got to give it to us in doses, especially with the attention span that everyone thinks we all have, and which is very short. You got to kind of give it to us in doses. Don't give it all at once. Don't shove it down our throat. You're right. Let it build. Let it breathe a little bit. They do seem to be doing that here. I mean, some people are going to say, "Oh, they shouldn't have put the belt on Rhea yet. They should have waited for a takeover or something." But
oh, fuck that.
I
why?
Disagree. I disagree too. Why?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Box.
No. I'm just saying there's no point. I mean, when is the next takeover? How much? Real quick, when?
WrestleMania.
No, February, actually.
February.
In Portland.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. She's hot. Don't wait until she maybe starts to cool off, which I don't think she will. But I don't know, man. Put it on her now, and I'm glad they did. And yeah, February 16th. Thank you, Antox. And I got no problems. This was a badass match between these girls. And Shayna's MMA style, the way she works it, is just perfect in the ring. And Rhea just, again, she's a big girl, so she's believable. And anyone who was going to take out Shayna, it should have been her, especially the way things have been going the past few weeks. It made sense for her to win. So thank you, Anthony, for letting me finish, because I never would have remembered that.
Oh, no, good job. And I kind of echo a lot of the same sentiments that you both just kind of put out there. In terms of like the 3 main roster main events, I'm kind of in agreement with Smart. The TLC main event was definitely the best of the 3. In terms of this match, I feel like this match benefited from the booking of Shayna to this point. on commentary, they ran down the list. It was like a who's who she beat in terms of the NXT women: Io Shirai, Candice LeRae, Bianca Belair, on and on and on. If she had to beat Rhea Ripley, it would have been like, well, who's going to take the belt off this broad? So it was time in that respect. And also the fact that she had a dominant run for over a year really added to the emotion of the moment. And because you really felt like that. And I like the added touch of the everybody coming into the ring, putting her up on the shoulders, really putting over the moment. Now I'm kind of waiting for that other shoe to drop because, not to be cynical, not to be critical, but do you think that it's going to come to a point where people start to turn on Ripley? Or do you guys have like a countdown clock? Because it seems like anytime somebody that the people have been clamoring for to get their run, they finally make it to the top, it's always that other shoe that drops where they're like, they're over pushed, this wrong, that wrong. They start to harp on things, like nitpick a lot. Do you think that's going to come for Rhea? Do you think she can maintain this momentum?
In my opinion, it'll come, and I think it might be a little sooner rather than later. I don't know why. And hopefully they just turn her heel when it does happen.
Which is weird because wasn't she? I haven't really followed her career from beginning to end, but wasn't she a heel initially, and then the crowd flipped her, and they just kind of went with it? There was never really a turn with her, was it? Not really. They just rolled with it, like they've been doing with a lot of people lately on both of the main shows too. So, but I mean, I got no problem with it. Hopefully, but yeah, they'll definitely end up turning on her eventually. That's just that's fucking wrestling fans. These fucking, bitch ass motherfuckers. But yeah. Aaron says she's a natural heel. I agree. She just looks like a heel. Her features, her look, her size, her stature, everything about her says heel, but she also even doesn't have to change anything to be a great babyface, in my opinion. So, but I'm a little biased. I like the girl. Yeah. So, Box, Shayna Baszler, where does she go from here? Does she stick around on NXT, or? Because if it's me, honestly, I feel like that whenever she debuts on the main roster, I feel like they're gonna keep her on ice until Ronda's ready to come back. I feel like whatever her next move is gonna involve Rousey somehow. What do you guys think? I don't know. It would make sense, definitely, but I don't know. I'm not sure Ronda's coming back or not. Is she pregnant? I mean, who knows? Is she preggo? Anyone know? It hasn't been posted anywhere, so I doubt she is. Because you figure that'd be news by now, so I don't think she is. Not to say she's probably not somewhere trying, probably as we speak right now, but as of now, as far as I know, no, she is not, sir. All right. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if Ronda's coming back, and I don't think Shayna needs a Ronda. I honestly don't think she needs the other two girls either, Marina or Jessamine. I don't think she needs them either. And I kind of wish they would just let her go out on her own. Where she goes from here, chasing back that title. This feud continues, most definitely. And maybe Shayna wins it back at TakeOver, or I don't know. But this feud definitely just continues, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What about you,
I will
Smart?
say the Royal Rumbles. Well, the Royal Rumble's coming up next month. I think they're still doing the Women's Royal Rumble this year or next year too. So,
of course,
I honestly wouldn't be surprised. She's already won the belt twice in NXT. I wouldn't be surprised if she just went through and fucking cleared house and then.
And what was that? Smart, you just dropped out after cleared house, buddy.
Worse.
Oh, there we go.
I was about to say, it was ironic.
Yeah, it was ironic, don't you think? Yeah, you basically dropped out right after the word cleared house.
Okay, let's try this again.
Take two.
Yes. Okay.
Yep, we got you.
No, what I was going to say is just maybe she ends up clearing house, winning the Royal Rumble, and you build something WrestleMania with Becky, possibly. Or Asuka, depending on who ends up winning. I think they're going to do something at the Royal Rumble, maybe. So, whoever wins that.
And I just gotta say, since you brought up the Rumble Smart, I will laugh my ass off to no end if because I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a gimmick where like NXT, they're gonna do like 10, 10, and 10, 10 Raw, 10 SmackDown, 10 NXT for the Rumble this year or next year. Mm-hmm. I'll laugh my ass off if they have an NXT guy hypothetically win the Rumble and challenge for like the Raw title. Oh, that'll totally shit on the NXT.
No,
that I'm sorry, it won't happen. But if they were to kind of like even tease it, I would laugh my ass off.
Oh, Triple H would be in a corner crying somewhere.
Dude, I would laugh. I would laugh my ass off.
I can't believe he did that. That'd be Triple H right there. That's Triple H crying, in my opinion, right there. All right. Any more on NXT, or is that NXT? Rhea Ripley kicked ass. Glad she won. I don't know what else we can say. Good show. Great 3 matches on Hulu. I will be watching Hulu more often. By the way, just to throw this out there, and this is just a great deal. If you have Hulu and you're already spending the, what is it, $11.99 a month, I think, on Hulu, or $7.99, whatever it is. If you already have Hulu and you're like, man, I kind of wouldn't mind getting Disney Plus, $12 right now, plus you get Hulu and ESPN Plus. $12.99.
Limited time only, or is it for the year?
I'm thinking it's limited time only. But my wife, because I'm like, great, we have Disney Plus now, another fucking, payment thing. And she's like, no, we got that with Hulu and ESPN. I'm like, I don't want sports. So if you're a sports fan, you got kids, there you go.
And just for the record, Disney Plus is fucking amazing. Just want to put that out there. Love it.
Oh, did you already? You should have waited, man. You could have got Hulu with it and ESPN Plus. Not that you do anything with ESPN, but they do have some good boxing matches on there every now and then. Some bigger boxing matches. So
I do like the E60 specials they do.
Oh, there you go. You could watch that too. But there you go. Just a quick. Again, I'm not getting paid for this, but my wife did it, and it was a great fucking deal, and my kids are loving it.
Yeah, I know you're not getting paid for this, but please, you do bring up a good point. If you can't afford it, it is a really good deal, and the Disney Corporation really does need your money.
Of course,
they're hurting these days.
Oh, they're hurting. They're hurting bad. Of course they are. They're just they're making their movies just die. Yeah, right.
Yeah. That damn mouse needs his cheese.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Anyway,
Mickey need to eat too.
On that wonderful note, why don't we go ahead and get into the old SmackDown? What do y'all say?
Woo!
I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this.
we won't. I mean, I can sum this up in 2 words. Mm-hmm. And it'll be a wrap for the review. Daniel Bryan.
Carmella match.
Yeah, fuck that. Daniel Bryan. Once again, man, Daniel Bryan is one of those dudes. Like he's a highlight of any show he's a part of. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed his opening not match promo, but his opening show promo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he really, like I said, you could tell he's a guy that not only cares about the actual wrestling in-ring portion, but he cares about making sense of the storyline that he's in. That breakdown was fantastic. I guarantee you nobody wrote that for him. I guarantee you that was something he came up with on his own. The whole Daniel Bryan brand. I loved it.
Me too. Now, and you know what? That'll bring me to a little question for both of you guys. We can stretch this out a little more than 2 words. What do you guys think of this whole Miz and Daniel Bryan doing this whole, just a couple of dads fighting for their family, but we still hate each other? It's very buddy cop. It's very Daddy's Home, Will Ferrell kind of comedy. What do you guys think of it? Either one.
I mean,
Slow down. Don't jump in at the same time, guys. Don't jump in at the same time. All right, go ahead.
I mean, it's decent. I feel like they're trying to almost, and I don't know if Smart will agree with this. I get the vibe that they're trying to recreate somewhat in a different way, obviously, of the Kane Daniel Bryan dynamic, where somebody that is the total opposite of his personality. Because for whatever reason, Daniel Bryan has a way. His personality is just so like happy-go-lucky and just so like chill and down to earth that when you put him up against a polar opposite like a Kane or like a Miz, it just, for whatever reason, it just works. It just clicks. So I do see potential in it, even though it is kind of weird that they just not even a month ago, they had a match tearing each other down. Now all of a sudden they're kind of like the reluctant partners, like you said, the buddy cop dynamic. So like I said, tentatively I like it, but I just don't. I just think it's a little weird, because they don't seem like they should be functioning as a tag team. They're just like destined to fight forever, never to be united on any type of front.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the storyline, and I like what they're doing here. I kind of like the whole, just a couple of dads. I mean, they brought their kids up so much, and, they're both on Total Divas, so their kids are pretty much front and center most of the time anyway, and their lives are front and center. And Miz obviously has his own, Miz and Mrs. TV, reality show. So yeah, I kind of like what they're doing with these guys, and I don't know, a good little storyline. Like I said, I do find it buddy cop. I definitely see the Kane, Daniel Bryan kind of resemblance to the storyline. But anyway, Smark, let it roll, man.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is the elephant in the room, I guess, or the most obvious thing. They are trying to go for that overall vibe of the whole Team Hell No thing, but at least it is established already that the two don't like each other. They're not just trying to force another kind of creation of that whole dynamic unnaturally. So there is at least that. If they're going to do the whole dad thing, they really just need to roll with it, though. They need to have them, come out and make, corny jokes. They need to have them wrestle in loafers, wear sweater. Well, I guess you can't wear sweaters because that's a Bray's thing, but have them wrestle in loafers, that whole deal. That'll be fun for everybody.
No, you know what to make it fun? If they come out to the fucking Full House theme music.
All right. By the way,
you missed the ball. There's an obvious theme song here. They have all the fucking WCW music. Just have him come out ain't no doubt about it, he's a family man. Loves his wife and kids and does the best he can. Modernize that song. Have him come out to that.
Oh, God, that's awful. That's awful. And by the way, I'm a dad and I don't wear loafers. Never have I, ever will. No.
Are you wearing sensible slacks right now?
No, I am not. I'm wearing Zubaz. And I'm wearing my boots that I usually wear anyway. I have them in black and brown, and when I wear slacks, I wear my boots with slacks.
Jesus, fuck. Oh, to answer Shane's question, no, they did not do dad jokes.
Not
on this
yet,
episode, but it'll come.
It's coming.
In a week or two.
It's coming.
I knows what's up. I didn't even see what he said in the chat room, but he's right on board with it. They need dad jokes.
I honestly see this as like a daddy's home, like a Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg type thing. That's really what I see it as. I don't know why. I just see him as those two kind of characters. But anyway.
But shout out to kudos to WWE, or if for at the very least keeping continuity with those two characters. Because I feel like this is, in terms of content, this is probably the best book storyline the best booking of two characters in WWE and forever. Because regardless of what side of the fence they're on, heel, babyface wise, these two have established that they do not like each other.
Right.
Whether they're both heels, one's a heel, one's a face, I like that kind of continuity. So kudos to WWE for at least keeping that up.
Yeah, I guess. All right, I guess we can review Raw by me asking you guys questions. What's up with this Mandy Rose Otis thing?
Well, Mandy's looking good as always.
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, that girl.
I don't know, man. They've gone down this road so many times in different incarnations. The fucking hot chick with the dude that you wouldn't expect her to be interested in whatsoever. I don't really get it, just because what is it leading to? It just felt kind of. I mean, it had a few chuckles. It gave me a few chuckles, but it was one of those deals where it was just, where does it go from here? Like, what is it leading to? It would be one thing, if Heavy Machinery were like the tag champs, she's setting them up for a different tag team or something to take the belts. That'd be one thing. But this is one of those things that kind of came out of left field.
Yeah, and I really wish they would stop. I don't know. I kind of Otis goes in and out of this like crazy gibberish talking character, and I'm not crazy about it. I wish he would just talk regular. You know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you know, he's out there going, "Oh yeah," and then suddenly he's like, "So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go out there," and it's like, come on, man, stop the gibberish, stop it. That's just my opinion on it. Mark.
Yeah, I don't know. I could be entirely wrong about this, but I feel like it's kind of just a one-off thing. I think it's just this week they're kind of killing some time and trying to have a little bit of fun. I don't think him and Mandy Rose are really going to be doing that much of anything down the line. I think it was just kind of it was what it was that night. I don't think it's really going to lead to anything. Like I said, I could be wrong, and in all likelihood, I probably am, but we'll see.
Yeah, and Michael Andolini says Otis wants to fuck Mandy Raw Dog. Jesus,
that's a shoot. That's a shoot.
Who doesn't? I mean, Jesus Christ. Let's be honest here. Jesus, but he got a little kiss on the cheek from her tonight, and she gave him a ham for a gift.
I guess after old Otis got his win, him and Heavy Machinery, because we're not going to go match by match anyway. Heavy Machinery defeated the Revival and was it Miracle on 34th Street Fight or some shit like that.
Bingo.
He goes to hug her in the back, you know, sorry about the ham, because the ham got damaged during the course of the match. Sorry about the ham. I should have left it backstage and all that. And she said, that's all right. And, you know, gave him the kiss. She hugs him. And Otis gets that old wide-eyed look. Jeez. I swear. Did you think they were going for like a boner joke? At that moment?
I'm sorry. I just saw Aaron's comment in the chat, and it just sort of threw me for a loop. She can queef in my mouth. Jesus Christ, Aaron. And I'd say thank you. My God, show. Man. You're sick Aaron. Son of a bitch. Anyway, I'm sorry to cut you off there. That just kind of threw that just like put the brakes on the whole thing for me, that comment. But sometimes this chat room isn't the best thing. But most of the time, you guys are really awesome. Anyway.
Yeah, like, what do you guys stand like? I mean, because that's been kind of like thrown out there. Because Aaron, you opened up a can of worms, you bastard.
Yeah,
queefing. I mean, where do you guys stand on that? Like, I don't care. I don't. You know, I'm a hygienic person. But when you hear people say this person, so and so looks so good, I drink their bath water, I suck a fart out of her ass. Like, where do you guys stand on those type of over the top platitudes when it comes to the ladies?
Yeah, hard pass, man, hard pass. And
I mean, I don't.
I'm just over here like enjoying the fact that you basically like in your best CNN reporter voice asked where we stand on queefing.
Yes.
I was not briefed on this during the pre-show meeting. I hadn't prepared a stance. I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah, that's because we didn't have one.
Well, you know,
might need to start having one now. But to
queef or not to queef? That is the question.
That is the question. Yeah, I'm gonna go hard pass and slip that right over to Smark there.
To queef or not to queef? Smark might have named the show.
Oh God!
I got no beef with queef, Chief. What about you, Anthony?
That's way too many words. Yes, Anthony. Come on. Antox is saying move on.
Well, now we're going 20 minutes, so buckle in, boys.
That's it. Queef talk for the rest of the fucking night. Then we're gonna wrap up with that's the news right there, motherfucker. Oh shit! All right, he's right. Let's go.
We're not gonna run that one to the ground because that's kind of. I mean, when you really stop it, it's gross.
We're done.
So I'm trying to think what else. Mandy and Otis was a thing. 2 segments.
She did hug him when he was awfully sweaty. I will say that.
Yeah, that was the payoff to the segment, was that she hugged him and she had like a giant sweat stain all over her dress.
Yeah, it was pretty much
that was the ha-ha moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of aha, let's tie a little bit of news into this.
All right.
So I mentioned that Heavy Machinery beat the Revival in a street fight match.
Mm-hmm.
So word around the campfire is that the Revival are going to be turned into a comedy tag team. What do you guys think about this? Because they coming out of the break, they kind of was cutting a promo. We're wrestling. The same promo you hear that's become like almost like a trope at this point over the past 4 or 5 years. I'm a wrestler, and fuck sports entertainment. Like, what do you guys think about the potential direction of the Revival?
I think they're a little comedy right now. I mean, they don't. I mean, they come out there every now and then like they're top guys, but I still think they're kind of comedic already. So, to me,
you don't see a major change coming. Basically,
not really. I kind of think they're definitely a little. Like I said, I believe they're sort of comedy right now. They don't really. They don't really take themselves seriously. So to me, they're basically already sort of a comedy team anyway. And a lot of times you laugh at them at what they're doing. So that's kind of what they're going for already. So there you go.
What about you, Smart?
I think it reminds me of the whole Lance Storm thing, honestly, where it's like, they're not necessarily known for their charisma, but everybody knows that they're good wrestlers. So because they're not known for their charisma, they decide to put them in a vehicle where they're going to have to show charisma, which probably won't work well.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on SmackDown just because it really was not a lot of consequence. I mean, once again, Baron Corbin was a focus of the show, which is turning me off by the week. But for the most part, it wasn't like necessarily a bad show, but it's we're close to the holidays, so it just felt like one of those shows that were kind of like plastered together. It felt like it was on. This show only happened because of contractual obligations, because no real thought was really put into it. It was just it felt like matches for the sake of having matches tonight. Like the only cohesion to the whole broadcast was the Daniel Bryan and Miz segment that led to the main event with Corbin and Ziggler. But other than that, it really was no reason for this show to happen beyond it's Fox, it's SmackDown, has to be on, it's Friday night.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put it that way. And yeah, this show did. I mean, it just feels like, all right, we're getting into Christmas. We're kind of lazy and wrapping it up and getting into the Christmas spirit. So I don't know. It wasn't an awful show, but it certainly wasn't a great show. So I don't know. But if you guys want to move on from the whole thing, we can. Elias seems to thank God he's back, because he is another positive segment on the show. And you want to go ahead and I believe I have the song almost queued up. Want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Want to hear it?
Sure.
Here it go.
Dash, Dawson, guys, come on. I get it. You're frustrated. I understand. But I thought that I would put all your frustrations and everything you're thinking into a song.
Let's hear it. Come on, please.
We're the best tag team. That's all you ever say. You know what really be the best is if you two just went away. You died 1,000 deaths. You're always coming up short. I made my grandma watch a match of yours, and now she's on life support.
I like Elias. I think there was another line in there they might not have put on there because that was I believe that's straight off the WWE thing. Didn't they insult? Wasn't there another line in there? Was there another training?
I can't remember the exact line, but it was a reference to you guys need to make a major life change like Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah, it was
some shit like that.
It was another. It was another tranny joke. I thought so, but yeah, that was.
Which is also a good name for a show title, by the way.
Which one?
Another tranny joke.
Another tranny joke.
It's...
Well, that seems to be his shtick lately. So
it's a really weird idea for a gimmick for 2019.
it is,
but yeah, this guy makes fun of trans people.
Yeah, it's not. He's fine. He's fine.
All right. I honestly only got two more things that I think we should hit from SmackDown. Then we can get into the meat and potatoes.
All right, Sheamus coming back. No.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, Sheamus. Look, it's 2011 all over again.
No. Don't.
You got beardless Daniel Bryan. You got Ziggler. You got Sheamus being a thing. Fuck that.
He did. He did get rid of the mohawk. Huh? All right, keep going, please. Just keep going.
I mean, I'm trying to think. You had Braun Strowman. Is he hurt?
He should be at the way they treat him, but
I don't know, man. I guess I mean real quick. I just gotta mention, we can agree that Braun has basically been ruined by this company. They got this guy in the bag chilling, talking like a regular. I really don't like what they've turned this guy into. They got this dude arguing with Sami Zayn over the fucking Christmas Pollyanna at the job. Like, come on. Like, this is what this man has been reduced to. To think at one time people were clamoring for this same dude to beat Brock Lesnar for the belt. He was going to be the guy to run with, and he's been reduced to this. I thought that was kind of depressing to see.
He cares about the integrity of Secret Santa, as everyone should. You can't go around spoiling it. You got to keep Secret Santa kayfabe. That's what Sami Zayn was not doing. You know, you don't talk bad about Santa in front of Braun Strowman. Everybody knows that.
You bury the holiday. Now all of a sudden you care about giving me gifts.
Yeah, Braun Strowman was sitting there watching the Hallmark Christmas movies. He had a tear in his eye. Sami Zayn came out with his Rebel Rousing, and he was none too keen on it.
Okay. I really hope one day they wake up and be like, we got this giant guy here, and we've been really just making him into a joke. Don't you think we should just make him a monster again? But they're not going to do it. They're going to be like, no, watch, dude. New Year's is coming up. If he comes out in a diaper, somebody owes me something. I don't know. I've been saying it since he debuted, basically. That he's going to be coming out in a diaper soon. You'll see. If he's Baby New Year, I'm going to be taking some fucking credit, goddammit, for once in my life.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a little side thing. But I guess the two things I wanted to bring up real quick. What do you guys think about Lacey as a face? Because they really pushed the shit out of that tonight. That dynamic. For the record, I missed the whole Dana Brooke Bailey match. So she clued me in on that. I fell asleep.
I literally my cable went out during that whole match, so I didn't see it either. When my cable came back on, Lacey was yelling at Sasha, so I missed the whole Dana Brooke match myself. So.
She was yelling at Sasha because apparently Lacey had her kids and the family in the front row, and Sasha mouthed off to him, said some unsavory things, and don't mess with my kids and all that, blah blah blah. So that they're really pushing this. She's a military woman and now she's a family woman and all that. What do you guys think about this shift? Because I don't know how well she can pull it off. Only because it seemed like she had the heel thing down to a science, from a character standpoint. The matches, not so much. Well, they aren't really giving people a reason to like this woman because she's still playing the same basic gimmick, except she's rah-rah now.
The character isn't working as a heel, to be honest with you. And to be honest, the character is a little ridiculous. She needs to change the outfit. if she's going to come down as this new, which is, to be honest with you, I'd prefer her as a babyface. I'd prefer her doing this military mom type character. A lot of family storylines going on in WWE right now. Well, I mean, Stone Cold said it was all about family, and obviously he was right. Family, goddamn family. Swig a beer for family. But I don't think her character really works at all as heel or babyface. I think they need to definitely change, like I said, change the outfit, change the whole character, stop this Southern Belle bullshit. It's a very outdated character. So I think they need to just completely do a little reset with her, maybe at the beginning of the year, have her get some new gear, and do this the whole character with the whole thing, just the military mom. I like it. I thought they should have done this in the beginning with her, because it's kind of what WWE, they go for that family, they go for that military. I mean, Jesus Christ, they had John Cena coming out there for weeks and weeks and weeks and years and years and years saluting, and the motherfucker never served a day in the military. I mean,
hey, what you mean? All of those tribute to the troops appearances don't count?
Well, I mean, no, no. And I mean, I
hope of wrestling.
Yeah, and I understand it was in support of the military, but motherfucker, you're a civilian. You shouldn't be saluting at all. That's all I'm saying. But so there you go. That was my opinion on it. A little long-winded, but Smark, go ahead and blow your wind, whatever.
That's right. I got a little bit disoriented there by all of that. Do you when you hear the song by AC/DC, For Those Who Are About to Rock, do you just kind of punch the radio? It's not your right to salute, motherfucker.
Well, no, I punch my steering wheel because I salute you for fucking, for those about to rock, I definitely salute you. That's a different story.
Well, good. I needed to know where you stood on that. That's important.
Well, the rock salute is different from a military salute. The fucking rock salute, motherfucker. Hold up the fucking horns.
So I guess the Lacey Evans thing, since everybody's clamoring for my take on Lacey Evans. I like her as a face. I actually like the Southern Belle gimmick, because if she's not going to learn how to be a good wrestler, she at least needs a character. The only thing I don't like about it is the attire's fine, the gimmick's fine, I think, but then they have her coming out to fucking techno pop. It doesn't if she's supposed to think that she's in the 1920s or whatever the fuck, give her something that sounds a little bit more period appropriate. That would be my only gripe about that. I will say though that during this, and you did mention to us that your cable box went out, and the first thing I could think of was, why didn't I come up with that excuse? Because I really would have loved to have been able to skip. They had fucking, in the span of about 40 minutes, you had Carmella versus Sonya, you had Bayley versus Dana Brooke, and you had Sasha versus Lacey Evans. Whew. We determined in messaging that this is actually the third level of hell that Dante had to come across. It was just fucking God. The only thing that saved any of it was there was a lot of shots of Bayley bending over, and thank God my sanity needed that.
and God damn, what the fuck did Sonya Deville do to tap out clean a fucking Carmella?
Yeah.
Because for as long as she's been around, Carmella has not improved in the ring. I didn't want to really talk about that, man. There's no need to break it down.
No. That was a rhetorical question that does not need an answer. So let's just keep going. Okay.
Yeah. We kind of beat the women to death.
The main shout out to Stone Cold.
Jesus.
All that for queefing? Calm down. Okay. All right.
No. We will not beat that one. We will not beat that joke into the ground.
I didn't. I just said it once. Keep going.
So we had the main event. We had Daniel Bryan and The Miz going over Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. So the match was what it was. It was decent. The story coming out of this match is next week they're going to do a triple threat with Corbin, Miz, and Bryan. Winner goes on to face the Fiend at the Royal Rumble. Do you think that this is going to be a fuck finish, or do you think we're going to get one clear-cut winner? And why will it be Baron Corbin? So Bob's going to say, we're not doing a Rumble this year, guys.
Yeah. Who? Baron who? I don't know. This is it's awful, dude. I'm sorry. You know what? I believe it or not, I was more entertained by Carmella dancing to New Day's music than and pretty much the rest of the show. After
shit!
That was it.
New Day had a decent match with Cesaro and Nakamura.
They had a great match. Yeah, they had a great match and they got beat down after it. But dude, I just can't do the fucking. I just can't get into Baron Corbin. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what character he plays, and it's awful. He's awful. It's awful. Just don't ask me about Baron Corbin. It's just going to be negative bullshit. So just keep going.
So out of those three, I mean, do you think so? You think Brian's just going to win straight up, and they're just going to do Brian and Fiend again?
I hope. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I mean, that's what they're building to. I mean, he came in, he cost Fiend the match, so obviously they're going to get into that. But yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. So keep going. Just leave me out. Leave me out of Baron Corbin. Leave me out of Baron Corbin. Boy, I don't know. Just whatever. Go. Smart talk. Do something. Go.
I'm scared to. We've created a hostile working environment here with this.
I ain't fucking hostile. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it to see it just be like a regular, clear-cut, clean win for Brian, but just for the sake of argument, I'll say that it's going to end up being a fuck finish to kind of divide things.
Okay.
I don't think Corbin's going to win. I think they're going to do like some type of a double pin spot with Miz and Brian, and they're just going to say, fuck it, make it a triple threat, just to kind of like switch it up a little bit, even though I feel like the money is in Brian and Fiend, but for some reason they can't help themselves. I feel like they're going to want to make it a triple threat since Miz technically still has unresolved issues with Bray Wyatt.
Baron Corbin, I mean, you know, he's tall.
And he beat Roman Reigns, and he became the king of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Not my king. The only king I recognize is Elvis fucking Presley, goddamn.
Now, I do have a question, because I feel like I actually need to say something of substance within the next hour or so. On Backstage last week, and I know you said there's not going to be any positive things about Baron Corbin, but on Backstage last week, he said that he uses Twitter, as he put it, as a cheat code to go online and to find out what the fans are complaining about and to try to add or implement that more going forward. Like, he said that the way he dresses now was actually supposed to be like a one-time thing, but he went online and he saw a bunch of people saying he looked like a TGI Fridays waiter or manager or whatever. So he kept doing that. So he's basically, what he's saying is that he just uses Twitter to find what the fans are bitching about the most, and then he just plays it even stronger the next week. What do you guys think? Let's remove Corbin out of the conversation. What do you think about wrestlers using Twitter in general for heel to actually gain extra heel heat? What do you guys think about that?
Fucking douchebag.
Good point.
All right, put it. All right. To your point, not smart. Say, I'm talking to you, Box.
What?
Take Corbin out of it. Replace Corbin with Ziggler or Miz.
Douchebag.
You don't think?
Keep going.
I mean, look, I personally, I don't agree with it just because I'm like, it's like cheap heat, but it's like, it is. I mean, social media is here. You might as well find a way to like glom some positivity out of it and utilize it to your advantage.
Douchebag.
Fair enough.
Douchebag.
I try to pull something out of your box and you give me douchebag.
Douchebag. That's all I'm giving you. That's it.
No sentences. No, just douchebag. Okay.
Bag of
we got
douche.
anything up on SmackDown? Anytime and queefs and douchebag. Yeah, it's time to move on to SmackDown.
No, I just listen. I understand we're all on there, and you know, it's. How many people are really, honestly, going on Twitter? Now, do you really stop giving these people fucking any recognition? Just leave it alone. Leave it alone, douchebag. Anyway, Was there anything else on SmackDown?
Not a note. No, we kind of hit like any highlights. I feel like we hit.
Let me see. Yep, we hit them. There we go. SmackDown's done. Review's done. Thank God. We got through it, guys. All right. So, news, douchebags. What do you think? Anthony.
Yes, sir.
You were talking something about the Young Bucks. I don't know if you have that pulled up yet. Or if you have it pulled up.
Yeah, I have it pulled up. And like I said, they could have been trolling. I don't know. This was from, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I want to hear this because I haven't heard this yet or seen this, so let's do this.
Now, what sparked it was a tweet from Matt Jackson. So he put out a tweet, and I quote, "I've had a fun time on this app for over 10 years, but it's time to finally hit the X. I'll see you on BTE." And everybody, basically everybody's interpreting this as, a lot of people online have been critical of some of the booking decisions in AEW as far as the Dark Order and other characters and things like that. And it seems like the Bucky boys are having their feelings hurt since they're technically, they're EVPs, they're executives in the company.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? Like, if you can't take the heat, maybe focus on just being a talent, or just kind of remove yourself from the business side of things. Because look, as we've established, the internet is not a fun place anymore. It's become very toxic. But you got to have thicker skin. I mean, I would imagine being in the wrestling business, especially, you have to have a certain level of thick skin because people are always going to come at you and make little sly comments, talk slick to you.
How
you can? I mean, like how can you? Like, I don't know. I ain't gonna cut you off, Box. But what do you guys think about potentially the Young Bucks getting a little butthurt because people don't like their booking decisions and their friends' booking decisions?
How long did they think that this dick sucking was gonna last for their fucking show? I'm sorry, dude, but seriously, Anthony. Wednesday, you said when they went on television, they put themselves out there to be criticized just like NXT or any other fucking wrestling show. You were right. So how long did they expect the fucking blowjobs from the AEW fans to last? And again, we all even said Wednesday that you go on that fucking AEW Facebook page, that fucking pit of hell, if you really want to get in there. Even those people are starting to get a little bit critical of some of the things they're doing. You know what? How about don't fucking sit there and take it as a fucking negative. It should be a positive to you guys, and you should actually maybe take some of that criticism like, man, I really wanted to hear that Jericho promo. Yeah, I did too. I think a lot of people probably did. So some of it needs to be taken seriously, but man, have some thicker skin. Seriously. Yeah. You knew, and if you expected the fucking the blowjob to last forever and ever, and yeah, Antok says how much is legit, how much is trolling. You know the trolls. You know the trolls are the ones, come on. And you know what's legit, because the legit ones will actually fucking hit you and be like, oh man, I didn't think about that. That's how you know it's legit. You think about it. Anyway, that's my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah, Smart, what you got? I'll let you go next.
Well, I mean, I say this as somebody who, I have a Twitter account. I never use it. The only time I ever do is when I click on, like, somebody said this on Twitter so I can see their tweet. Otherwise, I literally don't tweet anything. I don't check the timeline, any of that shit. And I really don't, outside of using the messenger to communicate with you guys for show stuff, I don't really use Facebook either. So I'm kind of somebody who, for the most part, has disconnected from social media. I say that to say this, like, kind of the fact that we're having this discussion right now is kind of serves a point enough to why they would probably want to get off Twitter. Because it's like we're analyzing a tweet that just said, we're done with Twitter. So it's like, well, why are you done with Twitter? So it's like, okay, I don't really think anything positive can necessarily come from them having Twitter, because you're either they're patting themselves on the back and then people remember that, and then the next time they, fall short in the ratings or whatever, it's going to be like, oh, well, motherfucker, you were talking shit last week. Where are you now? Or if, they do something where they complain about something, like however you start talking about, are they losing it? Are they too sensitive? Like, I don't really think there's too much anything that can be tweeted that would be positive for them to do. Because, like, as far as the Young Bucks are concerned, they're not on the indies anymore, so they don't need to promote dates, which is what a lot of people use Twitter for that are on that level. It's just self-promotion. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be doing that. Come check it out. AEW itself has its own Twitter, so they don't necessarily need to have an account separate to that. I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to sound like an apologist or like one of those people who needs to clear out their basement, but I don't really blame them for not wanting to be on Twitter, because Twitter can be a pretty shitty place to be from what I've seen.
It can be, but you got to remember something. AEW itself, if I'm not mistaken, started off with Dave Meltzer making a bet to the Young Bucks, right? On Twitter.
That whole
Twitter.
That whole elite crew.
Right, exactly. You're right. I can't remember if it was actually based at Cody or I think it might have been based at Cody or the Young Bucks. I can't remember who. But anyway, Cody. Thank you, Antox. So let's face it. Where's your real fan base? Where did your fan base come from? Can you really just leave Twitter? And basically, it's 2019. It's kind of a scary time, and social media is what it is, but that's their fan base, dude. Their fan base is the fucking internet.
Well, that is their fan base. You're absolutely right. But and I know it's a situation by situation basis, but how much time have we talked about, the kind of pitfalls that, Jordan Miles has come across by, tweeting too much, the Seth Rollins stuff. We praise Ambrose for not being on Twitter, not putting his personal business out there. And then we say, Rollins should get off Twitter. We say Jordan Miles should probably calm down on Twitter for a little while. Then when you see people that are actually trying to get off Twitter, there's also criticism for that. So it's like, well, how do you play this properly?
Well, I mean, listen, some people, I don't know. When your fan base, I get some people shouldn't be. Listen, I don't post much on social media either. Really, I post on the Dirt Sheet Dudes. I post on Wrestling Umbrella. I don't post. Anyone who is on my Facebook page knows I don't post. I hardly ever go on Twitter. But when your fan base is obviously the internet community, I'm not even going to say the IWC, the internet community, because let's face it, we're all on the internet doing something. It's but that's where your show started. That's where everything was conceived. You can't just fucking leave. And it's probably just a fucking bullshit, look at me, give me attention, fucking tweet anyway, but we probably already spent too much time on it, to be honest with you. But in my opinion, you just can't don't turn your back on your whole fucking fan base, which, again, I think is the internet.
And just to kind of wrap it up, at least on my end, discussion wise, I just feel like this in terms of AEW, and this is not even being critical of the actual product. This is just the fan base that they've created. Do you think that they're looking like with the war, quote unquote war between fans right now, between WWE fans or NXT fans and AEW? Do you think that hindsight being 2020, got people like the Young Bucks, like Cody, they're looking like we've kind of created a monster here? Because in the lead up to all of this, you had all these, we're going to change the game. It's going to be a revolution. You're our revolutionaries and all this crazy shit. Do you think that they're kind of like starting to look back like, if they had it to do over again, if they had to take two, they would take back some of these grandiose comments they put out there? Because they've really kind of created a fanatical situation to where a lot of people don't want to be proven wrong. They don't want to be proven wrong here, which is why you have so many of a lot of these AEW fans digging their heels and literally you can't say one critical thing without them going off the reservation. Do you think that in hindsight, part of this is not so much a temper tantrum, but maybe like thinking like we might have overshot some things, and maybe we should take a step back?
I don't think they would actually apologize for it publicly, but I think maybe they do think that they bit off a little more than they can chew, if that's kind of what you're kind of implying there. They probably are realizing that it's a little more work than they expected. And I mean, look, there's a guy at work who's a huge wrestling fan, and he doesn't like AEW for the simple fact he just doesn't know a lot of the guys on there. He doesn't know them, and he just says, I can't watch it because I don't know those guys. So that's a big factor with them. Again, those guys are known, a lot of those guys are known by the hardcore internet wrestling guys.
The people that live and die wrestling, that watch wrestling 24/7.
Exactly.
Like us.
Like us. So, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't think they'll ever publicly say that, but they probably realize they bit off a little more than they can chew. I'm not saying that, oh my God, they bit off way. They don't know what they're getting into. They're already over their heads. They're fucked. They're not going to last. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there at all. I think they will learn from their mistakes. I think they'll start tightening things up. I hope they will, and I think they will. Jericho, if you listen to the Conan podcast, I think it was last week, Jericho knows there's issues, and he's slowly trying to work out those issues. I mean, he is basically the veteran there, so he knows there's problems. So I don't know. I do hope they work out the things, and like Antok said before, some of the criticism online is going to be legit. Some of it is going to be fucking just a bunch of people fucking trolling that hate your company no matter what you do. So weed out those people, but they've got their hardcore base. Those are the ones that if you say fucking one match was bad, they threaten to burn your house down and, kill your pets. Those are hardcore fans. And let's face it, WWE has the same sort of hardcore fans that, the WWE apologists, this and that. So, it is what it is.
What you got, Smart?
I mean, I will say, yeah, there was quite a bit of hubris, like leading up to and the weeks after, the first couple shows. But at the same time, it's like, well, what do you really want them to do? Like, if they held a press conference and they're like, we're going to do our level best to try to put on a good show that we could be satisfied with. It's like, who the fuck wants to watch that? Like, we're trying our very best out there every week. We hope you're smiling. Like, okay. But, like, the thing about it is, yeah, there is some hubris there, and they are they're taking steps back. It is also the second month that they've been running weekly. Like, it's only been 2 months since they started in October. If you look at if you take a snapshot of any of the 2 months, consecutive of the year in WWE, like where they are where they were in January versus where they are now, probably monumentally different. Like, I mean, they're still just working to find themselves. I understand that that's not going to be good enough for some people. You're going to have some people that have already decided they're not going to watch anymore, because of this or that, the audio issues, or this guy won when the other guy should have won. And, whatever the litany of reasons that people have, especially now, because wrestling fans don't just watch wrestling, I think. I haven't encountered this phenomenon. I'm still watching New Japan as we speak. But, everybody, when you have so many shows that you want to watch or that you feel like you should watch, everybody's looking for a reason to be like, all right, well, enough of this. I need to catch up on The Office or Stranger Things or what have you, So it's like, yeah, I mean, they did kind of get a little bit carried away in there, trying to rein it in, but it's going to happen. That it's a company that is essentially 2 months into regular operation. Like, they're going to have to find themselves. They're going to have pitfalls. They're going to have bumps in the road, and they got to figure out a way to bounce back from them. And whether or not they can do that is going to be, it's going to determine whether or not they're going to be a success.
Kind of like to add to what you're talking about there, Smart, because I'm not sure how I feel about this. Remember a few weeks ago when they did the bit for the Orange Cassidy fan that was the kid that was a fan of Orange Cassidy, gave him a little moment, and everybody said it was cool, it was amazing, and yeah, it was off air. I had no problem with it. Very cool moment. I want to say that was in Philly. I might be wrong on it. I can't remember.
I think you're right.
But coming off of that coming from that same sentiment, they do a little off-air deal with Tony Khan where he gives a stunner to Sean Spears. Yeah. And a lot of people are saying, like, it's no big deal. It's never going to air, which I get that. But it's still the owner of the company. Do you think that this is going to lead to him potentially down the line somewhere getting that itch? Because technically it is his company. It is his money. He can do what he wants. And he's a noted wrestling fan. Do you think that this is kind of opening Pandora's box a little bit? Like, man, I got a rush off of doing like that stunner and like the crowd reaction. Blah, blah. Do you think that this is going to lead to like another Dixie Carter situation where he just won't be able to help himself? And make himself a part of the show?
I would hope with all the talent there that have seen that fucking problem would definitely stop him before he did that. I don't think he wants to be out there in front of the camera. I hope he doesn't. If he wants to look, I got to be honest. Whatever happens off quote unquote camera, let's face it, we all have a camera. No matter if it happens on or off camera, we're gonna see it. Someone's gonna film it. Someone's gonna record it. It's gonna get out there. I don't care what he does off camera. And it's not like Sean Spears sold it like he was dead or anything. And he obviously, walked right into it. It was stupid. And the Aubrey, the referee, was jumping up and down. It was just a fun thing. People can we lighten up a little bit?
Yeah. Like he was, I think it was the Fyter Fest show. He came out at the very end to present a check for the money they had raised. Like, I feel like and all signs point to the fact that he is a wrestling fan, and I guess that you could make an argument to the opposite of this, but I feel like if he is in fact a wrestling fan, he'll at least have the benefit of knowledge and experience of knowing that, with the exception of like Vince McMahon, 9 times out of 10, when you have the owner also be an on-air character, it's usually fucking disastrous.
Right.
So I feel like he's probably going to be a little bit more self-aware and not want to do that or push that moving forward. I do think we'll probably see him every once in a while on TV if they're trying to push, a charitable narrative or, whatever. They're talking about their community outreach or whatever it is, like situations like that. I feel like he'll pop up from time to time every now and again, but I don't think this is an omen or, a sign for what things to come in the future. I don't think he's going to be involved with the on-air product all that heavily moving forward.
Right.
I mean, hopefully not. Like I said, hopefully it was a one-off. But guys like Vince and Heyman and Bischoff, they're in my opinion, I want to speak for you guys. They're the exception, not the rule. Right. Not everybody's going to have that knack for that on-air presence in terms of cutting promos and knowing how to sell, knowing how to do X, Y, and Z. So hopefully it was just like a one-off. But you always say this shit is how it starts. This shit, how these things start. How long was Dixie off camera? You would just hear in the crowd every now and then. Then all of a sudden, she got that itch. She did one little angle, one little segment. All of a sudden, that one little segment turned into she's the top heel in the company.
Yeah, but Dixie's a different story, man. I mean, Tony, I just really don't see it. And then, like Smark said, if he comes out for charitable purposes and things like that, that's fine. That's what he should be doing. There's no problems with that. And if he keeps doing this stuff off camera, I mean, if you watch that video, and I did post it on the Dirt Sheet Dudes, I believe I posted it on Dirt. Yeah, I did. And it was all just a fun thing. They were having fun.
I believe it was like a tribute because December 18th is like a lot of wrestlers' birthdays. I know it's like Austin's.
There was. Can people remember having fun? You guys remember having fun? It was a lot to have fun.
No.
Did you guys ever see that After Raw DVD? The one where
I actually bought that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that a really good fucking one. I mean, and they did some really crazy shit after Raw. A lot of guys went completely out of character during Raw. Even Vince at the time, who was a complete maniac heel at that time, went way out of character a lot of times. The only person that never went out of character too far was Undertaker, and there's actually even a scene in there where Vince is begging Undertaker to do a spinaroonie, and Taker's just going, "Fuck you! I'm not ruining my character. No way."
Oh, I think I remember. Is that where like you had like a run of guys like Rock and Triple H doing spinner? Vince even did one. A shitty one, but he did one.
A ton of people came. A ton of people came down trying to make him do one, and he wouldn't do it. Again, I know that was before camera phones, but they were recording. The tape machines were running, as Tony Schiavone would say.
As somebody that's been to a few shows where they would do fun stuff like that off camera, a lot of the off camera stuff is way better than the actual product.
Exactly.
Because guys are looser, they just having fun, sending the crowd home happy. It's good shit.
Let him do whatever he wants off camera. If he wants to go out there and have fun with the crowd afterwards and leave them with a good pop and a little fun. Can we just have fun and not speculate 9,000 things and all that shit? So anyway,
that's fair.
While we're talking about AEW, I just posted here in the chat in our Skype so you guys can see it and know what I'm talking about. Yesterday, the LA Lakers and the Milwaukee Bucks had a game on TNT. They're two teams that are at the top of their conference, so it was a big deal. NBA and TNT, their Twitter account, put out a graphic promoting the game. And what they decided to do was they had 2 players from the Lakers, 2 players from the Bucks, and they drew them as wrestling characters. Now, the funny thing about this is of course, they decided to use WWE characters.
Mm-hmm.
So you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis over here representing the Lakers, and they're both, I think one's supposed to be Brett and one's supposed to be Owen, but they both look like Brett. And then you have Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I believe that's Chris Middleton. Giannis is Mick Foley, Middleton is the Ultimate Warrior. They put this on their official Twitter account. And there was just a lot of people kind of making fun of them because they are the company that airs AEW, and they're basically kind of sort of promoting old school WWF.
It kind of speaks to, an issue that I think we brought up on the show before. When Cody put out the statement or the tweet, I can't remember exactly word for word what he said, but it said something along the lines of, "We're going to be okay. We're just going to cater to our hardcore fan base." Situations like you just pointed out there highlight why that is a terrible fucking idea for any businessman that wants to, make his product, national. You should want everybody to be a fan of your product. And it just goes to show that at the end of the day, no matter how good or bad WWE may be presently, they are still the known commodity. They're still the known brand. And people, when they think wrestling in this country, 10 times out of 10 they're always going to think, "Oh, that's that WWE stuff." AEW is not a household word, and that's what they have to focus on. They have to get out of this mindset of, we have our fans and they know who they are, and that's all we need. No, the fuck you don't.
I'd be pissed if I was AEW, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it is just kind of silly, but at the same time, it does make them look so fucking amateur. It's the company that you're on their network, and they're not promoting your guys.
Yeah, it's really, like I said, if I was AEW, I'd be like, guys, you do realize we're the other wrestling company, right?
Now.
And more than anything, I think what we need to point out as wrestling nerds, Mick Foley and the Ultimate Warrior, I don't believe they've ever tag teamed. It seems like a weird choice to put up against the Hart Foundation.
Is that? Hold on, let me see. Is that who it is? Is Ultimate Warrior?
I posted it in the Mixler and I
Yeah,
posted
yeah.
it in Skype. So there's a
No,
couple
I'm looking at it right now on the Skype. I just had my Skype is usually not minimized, but very small. Yeah, that's definitely a Warrior.
Now, like, do any you guys remember the specifics of the deal? Like, because is AEW paying to be on TNT right now, and they basically just split the advertising money? Is that how the deal's working right now?
I got no clue.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Why? Antox is asking why would they be pissed over a damn picture? Because it's on TNT, the company, the station they are on. And and they're not getting any sort of, wouldn't you put them as, I know unfortunately there's not a lot of characters you could put them as that on AEW that people would know. So
no, that's not true, Box. I would love to see
let's see a Darby Allin one. Let's see fucking a Marco Stunt one. Let's see a fucking Jungle Jack Perry one. No,
I want to see LeBron James and Sammy Guevara. All you gotta do is stick your tongue out. That's it.
Look, I get
Easy
that.
one.
And anyway, I know, I get it, but maybe you just shouldn't have fucking done this. Maybe you just shouldn't have fucking done this.
On the same page as I am, give LeBron James the old Darby Allin face paint.
Absolutely. Or how about just put him as fucking, just make the picture as fucking some basketball fucking players or anything else but fucking the company that you are literally competing against, whether you want to admit it or not. Why would you do that? I'm sorry. I think that is a horrible, horrible business move. In my opinion. Yep.
And I hope, it's kind of, this is why I would love to know the specifics of the deal that AEW signed with TNT, because, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, it's a picture, so it really shouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'm kind of with you here, Box, just because it's just a bad look, because you're indirectly promoting the competition. At the height of the Monday Night Wars, just imagine Eric Bischoff randomly coming out and promoting the main event of Raw. It would be that level of absurdity.
Yeah, you know what? Yes. Okay. You want to sit there and say it's just a picture? Yes. It's also advertising. And advertising is expensive. And if you're putting over the competition on the station you're on, it's stupid. It's stupid. Why would you do this? I just don't get it. Go ahead, Smart.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. No, go. I was done.
For what it's worth. Oh, sorry.
No, I was done. I was done.
Like, for what it's worth, yeah, it is just a picture, but it's on Twitter, and the NBA on TNT Twitter account has quite a few followers, and also though they're advertising one of their biggest matchups. Like, this is two teams that are at the top of their respective conferences, and two of the biggest stars in the NBA right now. You got LeBron, you got Giannis, who, for those who don't watch, is like kind of the next big guy in a lot of people's eyes. Like, he's been a big star for them for the last couple of years now. So it's like they are promoting a very marquee matchup, and that's how they're doing it, almost in spite of the company that they're working with. I don't know if they're, what the contract looks like, but it's kind of a bad look. It really is. And from what I've heard, I can't confirm this, but I was hearing that they were also blocking people that were criticizing them not using AEW people. That's according to Reddit. I can't confirm that, but if that is the case, that looks even worse.
Even worse. Listen, fucking the Burger King is not going to have Wendy's promoting one of his burgers.
Yeah. It kind of makes me think
it's
that
it's seriously that simple. That's how simple it is. And if they did, they'd be like, well, that's fucked up. We'd all be questioning that, I would believe. I'm just saying. I just think it's a fucked up move. And it's literally saying, hey, look, we care more about the old school wrestling from the competition than we do about the people that are on our network trying to fucking make a name for themselves. I don't know. And maybe I'm being fucking nitpicky, but to me, this is just an awful business decision, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
No, I don't think you're being nitpicky at all, just because advertising is where your money is made. Bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
Advertising is how you get your name out there. It's how you put your brand out there. So you only get one opportunity to make a first impression. And I just don't, it seems like this is a case of the right hand not paying attention to what the left hand's doing. I don't get the sense that TNT, based off of this, because this is the first time I'm actually seeing this, I don't get the sense that from the TNT side of things, AEW has a strong supporter in terms of meeting with them and saying like, okay, these are our top guys. This is who we want to promote. So can you do something where you kind of incorporate their image into the NBA broadcast over here? I feel like not enough communication is going on. Because this is one of those things that if I'm a WWE, if I'm a Triple H, that's something like that will not slip through the cracks. That will not be allowed to fucking air. Like that's not even going to be a concept that gets released out the door, out of the boardroom. Mm-hmm. And I just don't understand how, if you're AEW, how you can allow something like that to happen. If you're TNT and you're airing this product, prime time, 8 to 10 every week, how you can allow something like that to happen. I feel like these two sides need to get in the room and formulate a more cohesive game plan, because this just shows like piss poor planning. This shows that you had people that apparently either don't care or they just don't know what the fuck they're doing advertising wise.
Yeah, you're right. And once again, we've spent too much time on that. But I don't know, man. It's just a bad fucking move. It's a bad move, and to me, it just looks fucking awful on TNT. Flip it. Imagine WWE having a picture. Just once again, it's the only guy I can think of that has something distinctive that sticks out that you could picture. What if USA Network put out a cartoon character of a Darby Allin character? You think that would happen? Or do you think WWE would fucking be rip shit? I think they'd be fucking rip shit. You know, just if you flip it and just make two different companies, it just doesn't make sense. It's a horrible business move. Anyway, since we're on AEW, they did hit a small milestone. And I guess it's not a small milestone. It's a pretty good milestone for them. They've sold 100,000 live event tickets since they've been out, and that's only in 2 months. And it doesn't say if that includes the those Fyter Fest and all those shows, which it probably does. Which is fine, but 100,000 in the short time they've been around, I think is a pretty good thing for them to be touting for themselves. I don't know about you guys, but again, don't want to spend a ton of time on that. But I don't know. That's pretty goddamn good for them, in my opinion. 100,000 tickets. And once again, I don't give a fuck if it's fucking goddamn scalpers buying your tickets. Paying for tickets is paying for tickets. Proceed, please.
The tickets were bought. Congratulations to AEW. And look, want to see them do well. But I just don't think the bottom line of this conversation, so we can get on to the next thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with pointing out things that need to be fixed.
Right. No, absolutely not. But and Antox is saying that does include everything: Double or Nothing, Fyter Fest, Fight for the Fallen, All Out, and 12 episodes of Dynamite. But I mean, if you think about how long they've been going, which isn't very long, it's a pretty good amount of tickets, and it's pretty good. I think it says that would work out the average to be 5,071 tickets per thing, which per show, which obviously All In, their first show, sold 10,000. So that was obviously basically 2 shows right there. And, it fluctuates in and out, but that's a goddamn good average, in my opinion, for a company like this, especially a new company.
Yeah, good for them. Sincerely.
Yeah, definitely. And their show Revolution that I believe we talked about a little bit on Wednesday that's coming out is already sold out. Less than an hour, the show sold out. That's the one that's in Chicago on let's see, 29th. There you go. February 29th. Leap year day. Whatever you call that. Leap day year. I don't know. But already sold out. And they said definitely if you were looking for tickets for that, they're going to try to open up some more seats, which means they'll probably try to, get some more sections untarped. And so stay tuned. And stay tuned to AEWTix.com to see if you can get more tickets for that. But there you go. That show sold out in less than an hour. So, I mean, you can sit there and say, oh, they're losing viewers and this and that, but they're still selling tickets, man. And, you can't sit there and fault them for that.
Hey, yeah, whatever. Hey, look, dude, whatever works. A sold ticket is a sold ticket. But we've kind of beat this horse to death. But since we're on the AEW talk, I feel like this would be a good transition into the Tony Schiavone clip because I've only read the transcript. I haven't actually listened to the audio, so this will be the first time I'm hearing the audio. Mm-hmm. What about you guys? Because man, he Tony Schiavone has made it abundantly clear that he is not a big fan of the NWO being inducted into the Hall of Fame without Eric Bischoff. I feel like he took more offense to it than Bischoff did. He made his feelings known that he basically said fuck WWE for that. They're wrong and that he does not want to be included in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Ever.
Okay. And real quick, just to thank you to Antox, of course. Quick update. Matt and Nick, they're fine. They put out a little tweet. Thanks for all the love we are getting from everyone wondering about Matt and Nick. They are fine and just needed a well-deserved break from the toxicity on here. They are the most sweetest most genuine guys ever. They don't deserve the hate they get. Love you all. That was from Matthew Lee Massey / Papa Buck. I guess I don't know if that's one of the Young Bucks' parents or whatever. Ugh. Anyway,
there's no Mama Storm. I'll tell you that much.
No, it ain't. So there you go. I guess they're still on social media. So whatever. Anyway, let's. Anthony, I do have this set to the 38-minute mark. Oh wait, it's not set to the 30. It will be. I don't know how it got unset from it, but give me just a few seconds here. 35, 36.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And this is from Shivani's podcast with Conrad Thompson. What happened when?
Yes, it is. Hold on here. Give me one more second. Here, we'll go with 37. We'll go with 38. 37. Hold on. Give me 9.
If it backtracks a little bit, it's cool. Just 37:50, 37, whatever.
Yeah, I'm at 37:55 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and start this, and let's hear it. Here it go.
Taking medicine for. And now we're coming out. I'm shooting about the Montreal Screwjob. He's shooting about The Office. He's shooting about, and fans don't give a shit. Do they? You can answer it no if you like.
No, they don't. And he says in one hand you got The Boys, in the other hand you got The Office, and he grabbed his ding dong when he said The Office.
Right. But we had him framed to where you didn't see him grab the ding dong, but we knew he did.
Yeah, he's a ding dong grabber.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he's also a two-time WWE Hall of Famer now. I can't wait to get your take on this. What do you think about Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman all being two-time Hall of Famers because they're going in as the NWO?
I like it. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, for their run in the NWO. And if you want to put Six-Pack in there, you can. That's fine. What they did back in the 90s was big for the business.
I'm not arguing
So,
that,
yeah.
but you don't think there's somebody missing?
Like Eric Bischoff?
Yeah.
Well, Eric got fucked over once by Vince this year. So why wouldn't Vince fuck him over again?
You know, I have it on good authority that since you signed with AEW, you're not going in as long as you're working there.
You know what? That is fucking fine with me. And I hope that I'm working for AEW until the day I die. Because once it's all over with, my family has been instructed. My family, I've told you this, I think, on the air here before. My family has been instructed that if they want to induct me in any way post-mortem, the answer from the family is no. So don't expect for me to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, just so you know, I'm overruling that. That's part of your family.
Yeah, well.
I'm your oldest son, and I'm overruling.
Okay. Well.
I got Matt and Chris's ear. They'll listen to me. They're reasonable.
And you know, now I'm pissed off. Because I'm pissed off because Eric is not part of the NWO into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
And I'm pissed off because Eric got fucked over by Vince McMahon. Not Bruce Pritchard, who is our friend, who's a good guy, straight up guy, but by Vince McMahon. You know, and everybody knows, that Eric was brought in just so he could get fired.
I don't know that.
And that fucking sucks. I know it. And I'll guarantee you I'm right. Yes. And the fact he wasn't put in the NWO Hall of Fame and into the Hall of Fame with the NWO confirms it.
I got to tell you, I was really shocked, and I almost tweeted right away. And I was like, I should probably talk to Eric first. But I was like, first of all, very excited that our friends, you know, Kevin, Scott, and Sean. And
all right, I really don't need to hear Conrad. But
man.
Well, I mean, listen, we played that for the Tony Schiavone clip anyway. And listen.
Yeah, no, that was pretty stiff though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, Tony Schiavone, I mean, it sounds like something he's talked over with his family more than once, but the Bischoff thing. He's obviously not very happy with Bischoff being left out. He said that. I don't know if I would get this pissed about it, but then again, I wasn't in WCW at the time. I don't know what was going on backstage. He does. So he's way more entitled to his opinion than I am. But Jesus, that is pretty fucking harsh right there.
I want to actually get Smart to take the lead on this one because I'm fascinated beyond words right now about what you thought of that clip. And what do you think about the whole dynamic of Bischoff not going in? And do you think it's a slight? Do you think it was purposely done? Do you think they maybe were like they're saving Bischoff for like a solo induction and they wanted to just save for that and people maybe be making too big of a deal of this situation? What do you think?
Oh, that's a little bit of pressure there saying that you're fascinated about it. I don't know if my take is that strong. I will say right off the bat, without saying exactly how I feel about the man, the masterful job by Conrad there. He knew exactly what he was doing. He fucking needled him and got the content that he wanted out of that. I'm kind of surprised. I thought Schiavone was smarter than that, but you know, it is what it is. The thing about it is, what I think it is I think that they, whatever reason, they decided to fire him. They fired him. They had a recent bad interaction with him from a business side. And they decided that, you know, the victor gets to rewrite history. They were the victor. They can pick and choose how they want to do what they do. That's what they're doing. Like, I don't know if we want to talk about, I had heard recently that they also edited out them saying Moxley's name during the Shield debut, or Ambrose for that purpose at least, that they edited out his name being mentioned during the Shield's debut. Like they do shit like this. That's what they do. Like I personally feel like the Hall of Fame, as far as WWE goes, is a bunch of bullshit in my opinion. I have said this before. I'll say it again. Well, like, first off, you have a set number of guys that you have to elect, or that you feel like you should elect every year, and it doesn't work that way. It's not like actual sports where every year there's rookies coming in, and there's a wealth of teams and players that you can choose from. After a while, it's just by the numbers every year. It's going to get to the point where everybody does get in because they just run out of fucking people. Like, it's hard for me to take a company that has fucking, like, William Shatner and fucking, like, what's her name? The fucking girls just want to have fun lady in the Hall of Fame. Like, who gives a shit? Like, and it's just like the Hall of Fame. I feel like the Hall of Fame's a joke. And I don't feel like there's really any point anyone caring about the Hall of Fame as it stands because of that. But, I mean, I can get how he would be upset, and I can get why he would be upset. It is his life work, and he knows Bischoff better than we do. He knows what effort he put into making the NWO what it was. And I could understand how he could be offended by the slight. And he's, it's probably his friend. I could feel how he would be upset that his friend got slighted and maybe got ripped off or whatever. Will they do something in the future with Bischoff? Absolutely, because it's a money-making opportunity and they're not going to pass that up. But as it stands right now, I could totally get why he would be upset. And I don't even really think he got all that upset. His voice went up a little bit. Like, on the scale of tantrums, it was probably a 2 or a 3. Like, he didn't get super fucking worked up. He was just like, man, I think this is bullshit. Which is a lot from him, but, I mean, I don't think it's a big deal.
No. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I mean, and I did hear you say that they're eventually going to run out of people, and they are. They're proving that by inducting people more than once.
Yeah.
So they're running out of people already. They're definitely running out of women to put in there.
Of course they are.
Oh yeah, so. They're gonna have to start eventually they're gonna have to start putting in women that are just like NXT people. I mean, so
Rhea Ripley will be a Hall of Famer by the time he's 25.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm not done yet, folks, but they needed a woman this year. Smart guy. You basically hit the nail on the head, bro. William Shatner, I agree with that 100%. Although I think the name you were thinking of was Cyndi Lauper. I don't think she's in yet, but I will say that I would not have a problem with her going in just because she was such a big part of that whole initial run in the 80s with the whole, even I wasn't around, Box. You could probably speak to this better than I can. That was a huge fucking hit. And Cyndi Lauper in the 80s was a big fucking deal. So for WWF at the time to get that type of rub was a big deal. So I would say, based on how big she was during her time period, she deserves a nod because she did give WWF a much needed media boost at a time when they were trying to they were not a young company per se, but they were a young company in terms of being national.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper is not in. And JR has some sort of issue with her that I've never found out about, but I wouldn't mind asking him once or twice exactly what his problem with Cyndi Lauper is.
Has he mentioned this on his podcast or something?
He's mentioned it on his podcast. He never mentions that he has a problem with her, but whenever he talks about her, he doesn't say nice things. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but whatever. It's a very strange thing. I don't know. She's not in yet, but I mean they're running out of people every day, every fucking time, every year they're getting shorter and shorter on the list. And but yeah, poor Cindy's not in. But I would like to find out exactly what JR's problem is with Cyndi Lauper. He's just not very nice to her.
Maybe she turned him down.
I don't know, but she was definitely a huge part of the old rock and wrestling connection back then. Yeah, definitely. I mean, her, and I mean, she even had Captain Lou Albano in her videos. Her music, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. He was her dad in that video. So she definitely had a big influence in I believe that was early 80s in wrestling. Like I said, the Rock and Wrestling Connection and having Captain Lou Albanos in her videos and stuff. And she just seemed like a huge fan. So
yeah, if I could dial that was, oh shit, echo. That was kind of a poor drag on my. I was looking for just a random celebrity that they value that wasn't worth much of shit. She definitely had her contribution. I'm not going to take that away from her. But I'm talking about, we're going to get to a point where they're fucking inducting like Marla Maples and fucking Nene Lynx and fucking Hoda into the Hall of Fame.
Drew Carey.
And people are going to be upset.
Drew Carey.
Care that Sheila Brown's not in there.
Dude, Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Drew Carey. I mean, Drew Carey. Come on, Drew Carey.
He made a one-off appearance, and granted, it was funny, it was haha, it was entertaining, but the fuck is this dude being like? Even if I don't remember because it was inconsequential, but even he during the course, I remember vaguely during the course of his acceptance speech. Words are hard tonight. Sorry about that. He said, "I don't know why I'm here," or something to that effect, like. These guys, in the crowd, those are the guys that should be up here, not me. He was basically doing what he normally does in those situations, humble bumble. But even he was just like at a loss of, why am I here? I made a one-off appearance to promote some shit I was doing at the time.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. You're right though. The celebrity wing, eventually they're going to actually probably just have to do away with. To be honest with you, I mean, how many more celebrities can? I mean, come on, just put in Bob Barker and get it over with, and be done with it.
Bob Barker is awesome.
Yes, and be done.
Look, that man deserves to be inducted into every Hall of Fame that there is.
Everyone, and be done with it. That's it. Bob Barker, the last of the fucking Hall of Fame. Perfect. That's where I want to end it right there. That's it. That should be the end of it. So. I don't know. I'm sure they won't. I'm sure they'll fucking do a ton more shit. But do we have any more on that, or we moving on?
That was it.
That was it.
Good.
All right. So
unless you want to harp on the my family's been instructed not to induct me into the Hall of Fame. Like, do you? And like, what do you? I guess real quick, what do you think about that whole? I hope I stay in AEW till the day that I die. Do you think AEW is going to last that? I don't know how old Shivani is, but you think AEW is going to last that long? Because that just seemed like a random ass thing to throw out there.
Yeah, that's a. He's very optimistic, and that's good. That's good. I like that. Like I said, it seems like that's something he's talked to his family about more than once, by the way he said it.
They have been instructed.
I would love.
Turn down the WWE.
I mean, listen. I've said 1,000 times that it's a fake Hall of Fame for a fake sport, but why wouldn't Tony want to go in? I mean, why? Explain. I don't know why he wouldn't. He must have something against somebody in there or something. I don't know. I would love to. That's one I'd like to pick Tony's brain about and find out why. What is your big issue? And I'm fairly sure Conrad doesn't sit there and pick at him and find out why. Right?
I'm just curious, just because from the few times that I have checked out his podcast, he seems to be a pretty chill type of dude. Very kind of like laid back. A lot of dad jokes, a lot of like shop, fuck this, fuck that. Almost kind of like when you found out Bob Saget is actually a human being and he isn't fucking humble bumble. That's what Tony Schiavone is. He doesn't really get worked up about anything because it's fucking wrestling. This is the first time I actually heard him get worked up, so that's why I wanted to play the clip. It kind of caught me off guard just because he's always kind of like played the fence. Like he's never really been overly critical of WWE. And it was one of those deals where I get that he's Bischoff's friend and you don't want to see your friends get slighted. And look, I know you always say that box is a fake Hall of Fame for a fake sport. This is true. Mm-hmm. But to look at it from the other side, if you're somebody that dedicated your entire adult life to pro wrestling, some of those people, you got to admit, when they're up on that stage taking that moment in, it means something to them. It means something to them to be in front of their peers, their family. In a lot of cases, that's their last time in the spotlight. It'll probably be their last time in the spotlight, and they want to take it in. So I kind of get I get both sides of it. I get your point. It's a fake Hall of Fame, fake sport. You shouldn't take it so seriously. But at the same time, if I'm somebody that dedicated my entire life to this, and I'm basically being acknowledged for my life's work, I do get why some people get worked up about it. Now, that said, it's one thing to get worked up about it if you are actually in the business. If you're a fan getting worked up about it, then sit the fuck down. But if somebody's actually in the business and they get worked up about it, I really don't have a problem with that because it's their life's work that we're talking about here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I get it, and I get they want to be recognized, and I enjoy the Hall of Fame. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit. I enjoy it. I like the speeches. I like the whole thing, and I 100% get the, I really get the fact that, they're being recognized for their career and everything, but it's still just a ring. I mean,
I think Honky Tonk Man has the right attitude. It's a payday. I can up my rates at these autograph signings.
And let's face it, WWE uses it as a merchandise grab, and they probably make way more than you do. So in the long run, you're not, you're still their bitch. And I don't know, man. It's like I said, I get it, but they're just. It's still just a fake Hall of Fame for a fake sport at the end of the day. There's no reason to get that mad about it. And I mean, Antox is saying, well, they didn't take in Tony when they bought WCW in 2001. Oh, well, they already had a commentary team. Be an adult. Move on.
It's one of those things where, I get it. He's, to Smark's point earlier, he's closer to the situation than any of us. So, yeah, he's his friend. He knows the work and the effort that he put into it. But, man, when you put that out there, it's just like, I'm a firm believer in, like, karma and putting out vibes. He basically guaranteed, because we've established how petty WWE can be. Mm-hmm. He put this statement out there into the ether. So I'm pretty sure they've heard it by now, or they will at some point. And they're going, okay, we're going to put this motherfucker on. I mean, obviously he's with AEW, so he wasn't going in no time soon anyway. But if there was even a hint of possibly including him into a future class, he's on a do not fuck with pile. And it'll be like one of those deals where it'll have to be like a hell freezing over Jeff Jarrett type situation. Because you don't put, in my opinion, you don't put these type of statements out there unless you want to burn a bridge.
Yeah. Actually, as petty as you say they are, I think that's only incentivizes them to put him in the Hall of Fame. Like the year that he dies, you're gonna have fucking Tony Schiavone in the Hall of Fame. You're gonna have Conrad accepting for him. Like he won't say no to money. He'll be like
won't say no to a table.
He'll be like the revolutionary podcast force that created the new boom in wrestling because of podcasts or something. Like they'll work an angle. Like I mean, but for real, like. Just saying that you don't want them to, even when you're dead. Go ahead and ask Owen Hart's wife how that worked for her. Like, they're still selling that fucking DVD, aren't they?
Yeah, but Owen ain't gonna be in the Hall of Fame. You know that. She won't. She doesn't want it.
Dude, they're gonna trust me. They're gonna do. I'm not sure how. They're gonna find a way. They're gonna include the Hart Foundation at some point. The 97 group. They're gonna find a way. They won't outwardly. They won't put it to you like this. They won't outwardly promote. Okay, Brett, Owen. They're going to just say the Hart Foundation from 1997. That whole feud. They're going to induct it that way. So technically, they can put him in, so everybody can shut the fuck up about it. He just won't be a spotlighted part of the Hall of Fame that year. So mark my words. They're gonna find a way to slip him in there.
Yeah, and let's face it. She has the most legit gripe of anybody. Let's be honest about it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
we're not shitting on her, but
no, she's
not shitting at all. So I want to put that out there.
Yeah, if anybody's got a legit gripe, that's definitely definitely it. Jesus, Michael Andolini says 97 Hart Foundation will go in once Martha dies. Jeez, let's not end the show on a sad note here. You guys got any more news you guys want to get into? Otherwise, I don't think I have anything else.
Well, you guys think of something funny to end the show on, because I did kind of want to get into this real quick, if you'll indulge me.
Absolutely.
So I was a big fan of the Dark Side of the Ring series that was on Vice. So apparently, I don't know how to feel about this one. So apparently, they're going to be doing one on the Benoit tragedy. It was inevitable. You know, you knew it was going to happen at some point. What do you guys think about that? Because I love the concept. I love how they put a new twist on things, especially with the reenactments. How do you think they're going to go about presenting this? Because on the one hand, it's obviously it would be a compelling piece of documentary footage to put out there. But on the other hand, I don't necessarily need to see the reenactment of a child getting killed. How do you think, if you're Vice, how do you go about making this is what I'm trying to get around to, because there's really no ideal way to present the Benoit story in this format without alienating, offending, pissing off some people.
How do you go about making this?
Do you think this is something they should kind of like maybe not do, reconsider, because it's really no delicate way to present the Benoit story?
Yeah. How do you go about making this? You don't. There's no reason to. I'm sorry. Vice is another toxic fucking place, in my opinion. A lot of the stuff they do is just really very weird and very like odd. I don't see a need to do anything with this. I don't see a need to give Chris Benoit. There's just no reason to mention his name. There's no reason to give him any time, any sort of documentary. I just don't see the reason to do it. I just really think it should be something that's not even. I mean, I know it happened, and I know we can't sweep it under the rug, and we should, I know we can't just never mention it again, but do we need to? Does Vice really need to do this? Is it really necessary? In my opinion, no. It's not. They shouldn't do it. I think it should just be left alone. And Michael Andolini is saying they're not going to reenact the murders. Obviously, they're not. But
I don't know, because they found a way to fucking reenact fucking Bruce Brody getting
you got a point.
Stabbed in the chat. I mean, yeah. This is why, like I said, I enjoy the concept of the series, because they put a new spin on stories we've heard time and time again. But I just don't. I don't get why they're going. I mean, I get it, because Dark Side of the Ring, you want to get the some more salacious stories that are out there. But I just feel like this is one of those ones where somebody involved in the making of the series should have took a step back and said, do we really want to go down this road?
Whatever. I just don't need to fucking see it, man. It's just not something I think we need to dig into and listen to this story. I don't even. I mean, when people have been talking about that whole Liv Schreiber is going to star in the movie about the Benoit story, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. There's no reason for me to see it. And I get it. Their name is Dark Side of the Ring. We're going dark. Well, great. There's plenty more stories to tell. There's plenty of drug addicts you can get a hold of and things like that. There's plenty of dark stories you can tell without talking about the two people that were murdered in that house and the suicide that happened. And no, Kevin Sullivan didn't go in there and murder everybody. But anyway, Epstein didn't kill himself.
You got anything smart?
Well, let's talk about Courtney Love for a minute. No.
Well, she killed that motherfucker. She killed him. All right, anyway.
Come on, she wasn't getting a solo career otherwise. You heard that fucking music.
Stole that fucking zombie song and fucking blew his head off. Anyway, let's move on.
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of the only person here that actually kind of, I don't want to say advocates, but I really kind of don't see the problem in it. Like, I feel like they waited long enough to where it didn't seem like they were just blatantly trying to get ratings by using that. Like, they actually did a whole season first. And, like, it's part of just what they're doing. Like, it's a really big story in wrestling. And, I mean, I guess we've all sort of heard enough people address it that to us it's like, well, do we really need more of it? But, like, you know, if you're watching it as somebody who isn't familiar with wrestling or isn't as familiar as we might be, like, it's a big deal. And, you know, it's something that people want to know about and want to watch. It's hard to say right now because we haven't seen it, but I don't view it necessarily to be kind of exploitive, or at least not as exploitive as a movie would be. Like, you know, like I said, they already covered a lot of really controversial things, and that kind of seems to be what their whole point and purpose is. And, like, it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but it's a big part of wrestling history. It's something that you can't forget. It's something that left a very negative stain on wrestling moving forward. And, you know, there's people that are still wrestling to this day that are impacted and will forever be impacted by it. So, like, I don't really have a problem with them doing it. Like, I feel like for the most part, everything that they have done so far, and, like, I'm not talking about Vice as a channel or as a news network. I'm talking about just this series specifically. I don't feel like they've done anything that's been heavy-handed or untrue or manipulative. Like, they seem that they wanted to tell a clear, concise, you know, honest story. And I feel like they've done that. So I really don't mind that they're doing it. Like, you know, we'll have to talk about it, you know, if we choose to, at least, when it actually comes out. You know, because there's been, like, a lot of people that have been trying to do the whole, like, make it scandalous and make it very tasteless and very untactful and just kind of cash grab off the whole situation. But, you know, I think we just got to kind of see how it turns out and see how they do it and just kind of judge from there. I get why people don't want to see it being made in general, though. I do get that. That's right. They're going to use, like, clips from The Simpsons of Bart being choked out, like dramatization.
Yeah, look, I can see both sides, and you know what? It's personal to me. I just personally don't want to see the story be told. I don't need it being told. I could see where someone would want to tell the story and get it out there and put it on. So I see it, I get it, but personally, I just don't need to see it, don't want to see it, and I probably won't watch it. So that'll be my, that'll be my reaction to it. I just probably won't watch it. There you go. That's going to be my whole bitching about it. I just won't watch it. I'm done. So, yeah, that was a great way to end the show on a better note, Anthony.
I did think of something funny.
Really? What is, I mean, coming off of a fucking, double murder suicide, tell me what else, tell me a funny joke.
What's the deal with
that?
What's up with suicide? Well, I don't know. All right.
Well, we're not gonna. We could talk about those impeachment hearings.
What's up with impeachment? I don't know.
I gotta say, people. I wish people would fucking. Some people are showing their lack of intelligence when it comes to how impeachment really works.
Just Anthony, just let them show. It's funny.
It is. But my God, like Jesus Christ.
The only people that were really irking that were like, he's going to be fired tomorrow. It's like,
So yeah, basically, a lot of people show who failed history.
Yes,
school.
Yes, which is why they're struggling actors with blue check mark. But anyway, let's we got to find something better to end it on, guys. I don't want to end it on that. I do not want to end it on that. What do we got? We got to have something. Anthony, you know what? A while ago, you asked me to save something, and I did. give me 1 second. Let me pull it up here. It was someone on the Solid Monster page. Definitely want to, give him credit since it was on his page. Posted something about, since we've been talking a little bit about Teddy Hart lately. Posted
yes, Teddy Hart is a great way to end the show. Man.
Yeah. Posted something about Teddy Hart and put us side by side with a picture of Teddy Hart and a picture of Austin Aries. Chris Van Vliet did an interview with Austin Aries, and according to this gentleman on Solid Monster's page, you could literally see the chip on this guy's shoulder. He's just kind of a douche. And basically the question was between Teddy Hart and Austin Aries, which guy has sabotaged their own career more? Teddy Hart or Austin Aries? Go ahead, Anthony. If it's easy, you can go ahead and take the lead, sir.
I want to say easily is Teddy Hart, because in addition to being extremely fucking talented in the ring, he was born into a wrestling dynasty. This guy could have literally and should have written his own ticket for years and years and years and years to come. Like he the same way that, people that from my era, from Smark's era, that grew up on guys like Sabu and how he revolutionized the business, and even a guy like Scorpio. Teddy Hart could have been that for his generation. Literally, he should have been that for his generation. But through a lot of just goofy shit that didn't need to be, he fucked up his own career. At least in the case of Austin Aries, yeah, he's been a dick, but he's been places. He's been world champion, ROH, TNA. He's had a run. He had a run in WWE, brief as it was. He had a run there. Teddy Hart never had none of that. He's never been able to keep his shit together long enough to establish that he can be reliable, dependable, and you can put him on the marquee in a top tier position and know that he's not going to go off the reservation.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. There's WWE will sign anybody that they can make money off of. You don't think that they would have signed a Hart that could go in the ring like Teddy could if it was not some serious issues going on? There's a reason why they haven't touched this guy in a decade plus.
Right. And I definitely 100% agree with you. It is an easy answer. Teddy Hart definitely has sabotaged his career worse. Listen, Austin Aries is more known for being hard to work with and opinionated. But he's not known for the recklessness and things that Teddy Hart is known for. You know what I mean? I can see a guy being listen, I understand being opinionated. I get a chip on your shoulder. He's a little man. He might have a little bit of little man syndrome. But Teddy Hart is not only has a reputation of kind of being self-destructive, look what he's doing to his career now with these videos. This is not a help, what he's doing.
Look what he's doing to other people's career.
Well,
with
that's
these
number
videos.
one. Yeah, well, yeah, there's number two. And let me tell you what, if this is doing anything, this is more self-destructive to him. And, I mean, he's putting himself out there just really, really bad. And, yes, I believe Antox, yeah, Teddy's got a criminal record. He has a lot of things about him. He's got the story of the missing girlfriend, which I'm not going to get into. I really don't know all the fucking particulars about it. There's that. There's all the stories of him. There's, I believe there's some drug use. There was
some drug use.
I believe, there's table weed that's white. There's, I believe, a sexual assault charge.
By the way, this is going to be the not really true episode because all of this stuff is alleged. You know, we don't have any concrete evidence on anything.
You sound like a goddamn Republican right now, Anthony.
I'm just trying to cover our bases. You know, I want to keep this box. I want to keep this show going for at least a couple more years.
Shit. But yeah, I definitely would agree. Teddy Hart has definitely put a bigger stake in his career, and I mean like a stake in the heart of his career than Austin Aries. You're right, Anthony. Austin Aries has been to WWE. He's been to TNA. He's had title runs. He's done way more than Teddy Hart. And and Teddy Hart is continuing to put his career further in the proverbial shitter, if you will. Anyway, Smark, see you're there you are, buddy. What you got on that, man?
Yeah, I mean, agreeing with everyone else is not really always the best in terms of content, but I have to agree with you guys. It definitely is Teddy Hart, because I feel like Austin Aries, he kind of reached his ceiling. Like, he got in with the WWE, he did his thing on 205 Live or whatever. I don't think that he was going to be able to get that much farther. Like, he was great for a while, but like, I think the business in terms of like independence and everybody else, like, it evolved around him. Like, he was great in 2004, 2005. Everybody else got a lot better. Like, I don't feel like he's a significantly great in-ring performer, and he's certainly not a significantly great microphone guy. So he only had so much, potential to move up. So I feel like he kind of reached that pinnacle for him, and it might not have been what he had hoped for, obviously not, but it is what it is on that front. With Teddy Hart, like Anthony was saying, he could have been revolutionary. Like, and I've said this before, and in a way he is, because he was definitely influential with how, the dives and the flips and the crazy spots that are, people are doing nowadays. I've said that about him, and I've said that about Jack Evans. Like, if you look at Jack Evans from 2004, he's doing a lot of shit that people are doing now that people are going crazy about. Like, those for that time, they were fucking way ahead of the game. And he just continues over and over again for one reason or another to, self-sabotage. And it's really sad because, okay, when he was 18 or whatever, and he was under contract, their product and the people they pushed weren't necessarily in line with what he was. Yeah, he did have the Hart name, but he was, for that time, small, and they tended not to push or value the guys who could do flips a lot at that point. But, he could be in NXT now, it provided he didn't do what he has done in the past. That there would have been a lane for him even to this point, to this year, where, the door would have been open for him, I think. And he just continues to do everything that he's done in the past. And when you think that he has come back from it, like when he was in GCW, it seemed like everything was fine. Like, it seemed like he had kind of, became self-aware enough to know that he had his problems and he bounced back from them. And then when he's like sort of rehabbing his image to the best of his abilities, or to the extent that it can be rehabbed, he comes out with these fucking YouTube videos that, I'm not even joking when I say I feel like they might be used as evidence at some point. Like, it's just out of fucking left field. And like, if you have to constantly address the fact that you don't have a problem, like, maybe you should kind of take a step back and think about the like who you're presenting yourself as to the public. Like, okay, maybe he doesn't do anything other than weed. Maybe he's not abusive or a drug addict or a junkie or on steroids or crazy. Like, if you have to constantly tell people that you're not crazy, maybe you need to just evaluate who you're presenting into the world. Like, even if you're not, like, just be self-aware a little bit. Like, yeah. I don't know what he's doing, but somebody needs to just tell him to calm down for a little while.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's obviously just smoking weed. that white powdery weed that you snort.
Yeah, and selling cash, buying cash from 7-Elevens and doing. I mean, look, man, I feel like the guy. To me, what was it from Box? It was Bronx Tale. Nothing sadder than the saddest thing in the world is wasted potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those guys, man. When you look at, you can't tell me. When you look at the run of guys that he's pushed over the past decade, your Punks, your Rollins, your Daniel Bryans, you can't tell me that a Teddy Hart of sound mind and body wouldn't have fit right in like a glove with that crew of guys if he could just keep his shit together. He has the in-ring ability, he has the name, he has the pedigree, and the fact that we have a guy out there who has bloodlines that can be traced back to Stu Hart, Bret Hart, Owen Hart, legends in the bit, and WWE they refuse to touch this guy. That says a lot, man.
Yeah.
That says a fucking lot right there.
Yeah, it should say a lot, man. But I don't know, man. I got nothing else. If you guys got nothing else, I can't believe we went from we went from death to impeachment to Teddy Hart being a scumbag. Wow, great to end the show on that note. And on that note, once again, this is the last Dirt Sheet Dudes until next Friday. We will definitely do that next Friday. I believe we're probably it's not going to be a great show because there's not going to be much happening next week, but we will give you a show. Me and Anthony will be on tomorrow. I don't know if Smart's going to join us for the Hollywood Hang Up, but tune in to find out. And on that note, definitely shout out to Wrestling OD, the Wrestling Overdose over there. That is Shaheen. And if you want to check out Shaheen's drawings and all of his art over there, definitely go to nuclearheatshop.com. Check out Wrestling's High Marks. That's Cheeseman Mojo and G-Wiz over there. Definitely check those guys out. Definitely check out Bobby Anthem and Bobby Blades on the Inhuman Experience. And, of course, if you get that, you're going to get Bobby Anthem searching for his lost soul. Check out Philly Sports Passion. If you get that feed, you're going to get the unscripted wrestling. So you're going to get not only all the sports, and Philly sports at that, you're going to get wrestling also. And, of course, shout out to Stephen Milan. Appreciate you sharing the show all the time, man. Definitely. Letterboxd.com/Stephen Milan. And there is 2 L's in Stephen Milan's last name. So there you go. There you go. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, I'm going to say real quick. I know
shit.
that we've kind of ended on a trio of downer things, so I won't be super down about this.
Oh, boy.
But, it is what it is. Like, I don't know if anybody needs to hear this or not, but, it is what it is. Like, the holidays are here, and it can be hard. It can be hard on people, and it's just a time where if you're having problems relationship-wise, or if you lost somebody that you love, or you're just feeling down on yourself, like, it can be easy to fall into that trap. Like, about 2 years ago, I had a lot of real bad things happen to me around this time of year, and it's just, if anybody, I just want people to know if they're going through something right now, you're certainly not alone. Like, there's been quite a few really bad things that, a lot of us have had to kind of bounce back from. So if you're at that point in your life right now, and you feel, sad, you feel down, you feel like you're worthless, whatever it might be, you owe it to yourself. Fuck everyone else. You owe it to yourself to try to do whatever you can to make yourself happy in life, regardless of what that looks like. So all I just want to say at the end of the day is you're not alone. Hang in there. I love you. Love yourself. Do the best you can. Fuck anyone who says anything otherwise.
All right. You are not alone. Anyway,
that's right. Children of the future.
I had to lighten it up a little. I had to lighten it up.
Hey, look. Cheap booze and hookers will help you out a lot during the holiday season.
There you go. And everybody have a Merry Christmas, a safe Christmas if you're traveling. And there you go. We will see you guys next Friday after the holiday. Smart, you have a great holiday. Anthony, you have a great holiday. Everyone listening, have a great holiday. Chat room, have an incredible holiday. You guys really do help out this fucking show. Always. We appreciate it. We love you. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas. See y'all Friday.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good night.
That's right. Ho, 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 motherfucker.
Going home. Time to take your drunken ass home. It's all right.